Good evening, everyone. Here we are for the fourth and final Grand Prix here in Canada. It is, it's Cobalt, isn't it? Season 2, round 5 of the World Championship. First time ever that Cobalt has raced here in the beautiful Gilles Villeneuve circuit, of course, just outside of Montreal, Canada. Absolutely great stuff indeed. That I really I love this circuit. Absolutely cracking stuff indeed. That Percy saying, "Guess who's back in?" And Brooksy's here. Oh, Percy is back in the hot seat. Then in terms of the engineering, Dylan saying first, and even though happy birthday to Dylan for Monday, I think it was. Then. No, Tuesday. Sorry, for Tuesday. Goodness me, I've had a very long couple of days. Yeah, so happy birthday to Dylan now because he won the Grand Prix, and then of course it was his birthday. It was a fantastic stuff indeed. That Kagwa Goku, evening everyone. And we've also got Casada. Welcome drivers, and whilst we've got a bit of a lull then, as our first car is trundling down the pit lane. I think it's Craigar making his second ALR appearance of his career. His first ALR appearance of Cobalt here tonight in the drivers' championship. This is how it looks at Hammer Time is still leading the way, then he's still 29 points in front of second place Dukanko, and I don't think that is going to be changing anytime soon here tonight, because I don't think Hammer Time is driving again. So the championship will not be swung into anyone's favour just yet, but Dukanko can get within a Grand Prix victory tonight then if it goes his way. J-Dog Moon at 4 positions, then he is now only 35 points behind the leaders. Right, of course J-Dog won last time out. We'll talk about that in just a jiffy. Paris then is in 4th position, dropping down 2 positions. Iron Knight status quo in 5th position there. Starburst in 6th, then 7th position is Brooksy. Casal is 8th, then Liam in 9th position, and Smithy Almighty in the top 10. Our biggest mover is Sir Dave. He's got at 5 positions then after his very last 2 very impressive Grand Prix there for Sir Dave. A good 17. Jitters dropped down 4 positions, and he is the biggest loser of the last week's Grand Prix, unfortunately. In the constructor standards, Alpha Tauri still leading, but they're only 26 points now in front of the Haas team, who are on 72 then, and Haas have also moved up 2 positions. Alfa Romeo in 3rd position there, with Aston Martin in 4th, both dropped down 1 position. Ferrari have also leapfrogged the Williams team. Alpine have also gone up 1 position as well. McLaren have dropped down 1 position, unfortunately. Red Bull are in at 9th position on 10 points, and Mercedes have not got off the mark yet. They're in 10th position at the moment now, and at no points then no points at the moment then. So Mercedes have really got to get themselves sorted, don't they? If they want to, I think it's the Constructors' Championship already done and dusted. Possibly. Well, we're only on round 5, aren't we? But the Constructors' Championship have no points at this stage of proceedings then. Oh gosh, Aaron, something's gone majorly wrong. For Krusty T. Unfortunately, he has parked up an hour qualifying already, so we're down to 19 runners and riders here. As unfortunately, Krusty T has got disqualified for parking in the pit entrance there. So that's not good, is it, really? And I'm not really sure how he's done that. Craig, who made his debut last night, goes fast on a 10-4 at the moment in the Alpine car. And I think Craig did a very good job last night. And a very incredible Grand Prix, to say the least. We only had 6 drivers classified in the end. There was a lot of questions last night about the drivers that weren't classified. Do they get points? Yes, they do get points still. Of course, I think in the real world of Formula 1, then you have to complete 75% of the Grand Prix, don't you? No, I think it's you have to complete 90% of the Grand. Oh no, is it 75% of the Grand Prix? I think it's 75% of the Grand Prix to get the full allocation of points, and as long as you complete 90% of the Grand Prix, you get the points as well. In fact, I think so. Anyway, I'm questioning that. I'm questioning that as I was saying that, but I thought I think it's something along those lines. Anyway. As Booty Delight there, almost missing the final turn there. As I mentioned, we only had 6 drivers classified last night, and Booty goes third fastest, and that's a 25-1 there for Booty to start his campaign here in Canada. Craig is going for a second bite of cherry there, and I like Craig's helmet from last night, and he's kept it going. Oh my goodness me, I thought he's in the Wall of Champions there, Craig was, but no he wasn't, and he's improved by 0.2 of a second. We felt that, didn't we, when we was on board of him? A cracking final sector there. Really impressive stuff indeed. Then this is a very action-packed opening. A couple of laps here in Montreal. Yellow flag in sector 2. It's one of the Aston Martins there is parked in a very precarious position there. Here comes last time's Grand Prix winner J-Dog, who is of course now a Grand Prix winner. He didn't look outplaced, did he, in Azerbaijan a week ago? It was very much he took the lead and he stayed, didn't he, when Dukanko had issues in his car, and really that was pretty magnificent stuff, and to say the very least. Then, so yeah, hats off there to J-Dog then, who's the newest Grand Prix winner of in the ALR community then. So good stuff indeed there for good stuff indeed there for J-Dog. Very impressive stuff then. We've got Booty there, who's invalidated his time, so he's going to have to go around again. He's also invalidated that last corner as well then, so he's that's a double whammy there. Buckhart said, of course, when the Mercedes drivers, they need to get themselves off the 0 points now, don't they, at the moment, because that's not good, is it, for the Mercedes team? They're 97 points behind the AlphaTauri team already. So yeah, really, Mercedes needs to get this sorted then. But just like I say, that Buckhart is unfortunately invalidated this time, and he's going to have another bite of the cherry, unfortunately. Just watching Kaz and yellow flag in sector 2 as well. It's been such an action-packed couple of weeks, couple of days here in Montreal. I think that it's probably been it's been more action-packed than Monaco, I'd say, and possibly even more action-packed than Azerbaijan. The first couple of races this season have been quite brutal, to say the least, then, haven't they? Of course, these I think that having Monaco and Azerbaijan the first 4 races quite brutal indeed. Kassau, who we just left him, it's Alr qualifying there, and Kassau could be the second car who is going to beat us. Oh, we've just said Lucky Boy, who unfortunately is invalidated his time. And where is Kassau? I think we've just gone past him. It's where Panis crashed, I think. Back in 97 or just before then, actually. So unfortunately, Kassau out of the qualifying session there. So he's not going to be too happy with himself about that, is he? So that is such a shame then. Smith Almighty there just finishing off his lap then, or just going to finish off his lap then. His yellow flags is fluttering all around the course as well. Smith Almighty then out of the final turn then, and not straight line in the straight as much as everyone else had. And he's 4 thousandths of a second away from J-Dog. Smith Almighty, we haven't questioned his speed this season, have we? But he just needs a bit more consistency in the Grand Prix himself, and he could be, and then he could be the complete package, can he? Iron Knight then is also had a very good race last time out. I think he was driving his day, wasn't he? I think he finished, wasn't he 20th on the grid, Iron Knight? It was a brilliant drive to 4th. Here comes Picasso, who unfortunately his race didn't end as fruitful as the 2 Haas drivers said, but let's see what Picasso can do. This is a new dawn, it's a new day. He is in 3rd position at the moment in the Williams car. Jinner, who's, oh goodness me, he's well off there, isn't he? Jinner down in 5th position at the moment there. He's done a couple of laps on those tyres, and Buckhart is invalidated his time. Then Starburst is also just starting his adventure. Lucky Boy is also getting out of the way as well. As we just got Serious Mushroom, even though I shouldn't laugh, but I'm gonna, as we've got Good Luck Cobalt as well. Dylan saying, where's Hammer Time? Unfortunately, Hammer Time, oh gosh, there an Iron Knight there, and I don't know how he's still in the qualifying session after that, Shunt. My goodness me, they design them quite hard, don't they, in America? They do like their muscle cars, don't they? My goodness me, that is a hell of a muscle car. And he's, well, impressively, that Haas car is still got all 4 wheels, just about. My goodness me, how has that car survived is beyond me. Well, Crusher T has come in, part of the pit exit and left bend, so good stuff. Buckhart's going for another lap then, Vinny, who is currently on the lap at the moment then in the Red Bull, as he's just coming down the back straight, just in one of the Aston Martin cars, the Starburst now going to move himself up into 5th position as well. Just watching Winnie, who's at the back end part of the circuit. Dukanko is invalidated his time, so we're going to stick with Winnie at the moment then. As Surfman said, in silver, Dylan, pay attention, laugh out loud then. Kakarot Goku saying it's a dry race then, of course. Hammer Top is still a Cobalt driver, isn't he there? But when he's been taking part in the Cobalt races, he has absolutely dominated, isn't he? Because unfortunately he can't make it tonight, but we hopefully to see Hammer Time back in the French Grand Prix in a week's time, of course, then, here on ALO. Buckhouse goes 6 fast tomorrow night. Good stuff indeed. That as we've got Lewis Sheed saying, "Go on, Craig!" As Craig currently in 4th finish there. I think Craig made a very good fist of things last night, didn't he? In a very an incredible Grand Prix to say the least, wasn't it? As Scooby Stew there wandering off in turn 1 there. Of course, there used to be a tree there, didn't there? When this race first opened there. Of course, they got rid of that tree quite a umpteen years ago now, didn't they? Here comes Dukanko. Of course, should have won the Grand Prix in Baku. I think that's definitely a fair assessment. However, though, I do think that Dukanko is going to win a Grand Prix this season. I bet my bottom dollar on that one. And here he is on the back straight as well. Dukanko in the Alfa Romeo into the final chicane as well. Of course, that final chicane has been brutal, hasn't it? Not just on the World Champions, but into the pit wall as well. Dukanko goes 8 fast as well. Now, it's a bit off the pace there for one of the top line drivers here in Cobalt. Then, so let's see what he can do then. Brooksy, you had a difficult race, didn't he? Technical gremlins in Spain and then in Azerbaijan as well. So Brooksy would like to get his campaign back on track then tonight. He's only scored once, which is in the first race of the season. We've just seen Buckass, who's gone off, and unfortunately that's Buckass out of the race as well, and Scooby Stew, who's also involved as well. And Buckass right in the middle of the circle there, and he's also impeded his teammate there. I think Scooby Stew and Buckass have somehow come to blows there, and that is not good, is it? So unfortunately, I think the Scooby Stew's got a 5-place grid penalty for his efforts. But remember last night, Mings, who had a 5-place grid penalty in qualifying, won the race from the back of the grid, didn't he? And he set me a challenge. I'm going to look to see if any of which drivers who started at the back of the field have gone on to score points, I think it was, or get 1-2 there. And I've got to have a look at that because I'm really intrigued to see. Didn't say hopefully you see more than 6 finishers from last night's race. Indeed, but I must say that it wasn't about quantity, it was about quality. Those 6 finishers in the last race, last night, I've got to say, the last 10 laps was absolutely incredible, wasn't it? I was on the edge of my seat. I almost fell off my settee. I was that intrigued, and it was incredible, wasn't it? That the final 6 there were just battling it for hammer and tongs, and unfortunately, Billet made a late pit stop, didn't they? Which took him out of the contention for the Grand Prix win. But of course, then we had the top 5 going for broke, didn't we? It was brilliant there. The lack of penalties that won it there for Mingzhou, and of course that could be a food for thought later on in the race as well. Brooksy down at the casino hairpin as well, which I don't think is called the casino hairpin, is it? But I just remember there used to be a big old casino sponsor down there. We got Serious Russian say Big J Dog and Knights 1-2 then. So for Serious Russian as well, of course, Serious Russian were part of the Haas clan. We know how much he loves the Haas car. Don't we? Serious Russian with his ears. Brooksy into the final turn as well. You can see there's a bit of a divot in the barrier there, and I think that's what's catching the people, a lot of drivers out there. Brooksy goes fast there, 6/10 of a second there in front of the next competitor, which is J-Dog. There's going to be a lot of track evolution in that, but still, I was pretty impressed to say at least that his booty was getting very close to the wall then. And oh my goodness me, Sir Dave has actually got a helmet design tonight. Oh, good gosh, said we're, and I've got to say, it's a very Cedar-esque kind of colours, isn't it, from Sir Dave? I'm loving that. Brilliant stuff indeed then. Well, of course, it's a bit yellow, a bit blue actually. He's also come back into the pits there, Sir Dave. I said so. Obviously, he's not happy with that performance, but he has in a booty delights also in trouble as well. He's invalidated his time then, so those two have kind of got to get a move on, haven't they? Really, if they want to proceed from qualifying 1 here tonight. Yeah, that's really made my day. Sir Dave has finally got a helmet design as well. I've told him time and time again then that that's the most important part of your Grand Prix career. However, Iron Knights is unfortunately invalidated his time then, so he's going to have another bite of the cherry as well. Jinner is 10th for a second down in the first intermediate split time now. Not taking too much curve there. Quite nice there from Jinner. Wondering, let's see what he can do then on the final couple laps as well. Jinner only got 7 points this season then, which I think is, he should have a lot more than that, shouldn't he really? He's only scored in 2 races there. He didn't score in Bahrain and he had a DNF in Monaco. Yellow flag in sector 3. As we've had Styles out of qualifying, Buckas, Casal and Crustia T all out of qualifying. Crustia T, well, I'm not really sure. Hopefully he'll come back in for the Grand Prix itself, but yeah, not too sure what was happening there. But he had issues in the pit exit there, and unfortunately unfortunately left the session there, which is a bit disappointing really. Just watching Jinner who's going to go for another bite of the cherry. Booty is invalidated this time again then, so it's going to be pressure really starting to mount up. Here's Scooby Shoo's got a 5-place grip penalty, if I'm not very much mistaken. So just now on board Scooby Shoo going down the bottom end of the circuit as well. Star's saying he's forgot his keys. I think he's done a Dan Murphy, I'll say that, because I've suggested to Dan that he maybe has a hook just by his door, so he doesn't forget his keys to his car. Of course, and I think that Stars got the same thing as well, where they seem to forget their keys, don't they, before getting themselves ready and ready to go then for the qualifying itself. So Booty now is going to go for a 5th times the charm. So he's 8/10 of a second up, so he has the speed, Booty does, in this car, but he just can't complete a lap at the moment then, as he comes out of turn 8 as well, before not getting too close to the outside barrier there. Booty isn't there. Of course, that's where Fernando Alonso had a crash there. It's quite a well, that's not the line either, my good sir. But so Booty there just skated across the chicane now, and I think that there might be a bit of frustration in that AlphaTauri car, but it looks of things then. Sir David is also going to start us up. Scooby Stew is fortunate bad at his time, so he's going to have to go around again. And here comes Sir David. He's oh goodness me, getting very tail uppy in that Alpine car then. Now coming into the first chicane as well. Let's go on board Sir David and let's see how his driving technique is around at Montreal then. Of course, as we are in North America, of course, we return back to Europe next week as well. So for anyone who's kind of feeling a bit homesick, then of course we are going back to France. Viva la France next week then, in the Castellet then, for the race around Paul Ricard then. Looking forward to that one. That one's going to be a class, isn't it? It's really good. I think that Paul Ricard, up till this season, it hasn't been the best of race in the world, has it? But I haven't said that on that league racing in ALR. I think it's been one of the better races to watch as well. So here comes Sir David Fed. It's been a lively lap here from the Alpine driver. He's on a very good run of form now. He's scored twice in the last 2 races, which were Monaco and Azerbaijan. He's become he's very good in the street circuits. Then Sir David, he survived and he got I think that was his best performance of his ALR career last time as well, with 6th position now. He goes 10 fast moment, Sir David, as we have lost another car. Scooby Stew's out the Grand Prix at the moment. Kaz is down the back straight then, so Kaz is just now accelerating away. Booty is should be safely through then, because we've lost quite a lot of cars in this qualifying session. So I think that all the drivers then should be safely through, even with Iron Knight and Booty on 21 and 25 lap times respectively. Now coming across the line then, and Kaz goes 6 fast. That's a very good time there from the Ferrari driver. Good 17 there now. And Kaz there could hopefully, as Crestier T is back in the session. That's great stuff indeed there from Crestier T then to be back in here. So of course I was a bit concerned then that he had other kinds of gremlins going on there, but he's good stuff indeed then. Booty is retired from the session now, and I think that we got our drivers sent through into qualifying 2. Craig, unbeknownst to me there, sneaking up into 2nd position now. Good stuff indeed there for the man who in his 2nd Grand Prix here in ALR tonight. Then in car 24 then in the Alpine. Lovely stuff indeed then. Sir Dave, is he going for another bite of cherry? Indeed he is. And Sir Dave is feeling a bit fruitfully. Oh my goodness me there! And oh gosh, I thought he was into the bar, and I thought it was game over then. He improved by 4/10 of a second though, so Dave now knows where the limit is. Hopefully he doesn't overstep the boundary, otherwise he might be sitting out for this one then. But that I think it's a bit like Monaco really. That rear end is not looking very stable, is it, there from the Alpine driver? Ducanco, I'm thinking of these drivers and they know they're through as oh no! And Sir David's out of qualifying now, and my goodness me, he's going to be kicking himself over because he was safely through. I did say that rear end didn't look too stable, did it? And unfortunately, Sir David, in the next couple of corners when we left him, he is out of qualifying completely as well, and that is not good for Sir Dave. He'll be starting 15th on the grid then for tonight's Canadian Grand Prix, and that is such a shame indeed there from Sir Dave. I got to say, as Picasso's retired from the session as well. To be honest, I would pick up my phone right now and give it a friendly message, but I'm so disappointed I'm not going to. Yeah, Sir Dave, and looking like that back end is not too stable, is it? Buckhouse also out qualifying as well, and both of those two drivers should have and would have got through there. Lucky Buff. Is it Lucky Buff? I think it's Lucky Buff. Well, Lucky Buff at the moment there is down in 19th position now. He hasn't set a time either. So we've lost a lot of cars in this opening qualifying session. Goodness gracious me. A pretty action packed then. Kakaroku saying my starts are bad with no traction control. Don't want to take anyone out of the start then. Of course, that's very nice of you, Goku. I must say, I wouldn't be like that. I'll be like it'd be your fault for starting alongside me. Dukanko, oh my gosh, I grimace after watching the first 3 races here over the past couple of days. I do grimace when they go through the final chicane of 13 and 14 now. So just as we've also got Sir saying Scooby would have got pole if it wasn't for those pesky kids said. As Kakarot Goku saying, please knock me out. Scooby said, I didn't even know why I got a 5th place drop. I was in the pits and the other guy was on track. As Buckout saying, Scooby, Scooby, I didn't expect you to be slow in the pit entry and ran to the back of you. I'm out of quality, unfortunately. Brooks is saying, no pole for me tonight, even though he is 6/10 of a second up at the moment now. So, and Dylan is asking if he's sandbagging. I'm going to be asking that question as well, because I hope he had sandbagging, because he's 6/10 of a second in front of Dukanko. Brooksy fastest, Alpha Romeo, top of the tree. Oh, qualifying, and we lost Crusher T, Lucky Boff, Casal, Scooby Stu, The Styles, Sir Dave. Hang on a minute, let me get up my old stream then a bit quick. I think I'm too far behind. Oh, I've lost. Okay, and the other drivers as well. Anyway, as we're now going into qualifying 2 as well. Oh, the Carabao Cup's on tonight. Great stuff indeed. Anyway, enough about that. I'm trying to get rid of all my notifications as well, because I was trying to. There we go. All this blimey phone. Then I think that I need to go back to a Nokia. I think then I think those were the days really, would they? Just playing a bit of Snake jobs are good then. Right then, so we're now into qualifying 2 then. Picasso asking why not, but Brooks has got a qualifying 2 ban unfortunately. So that's a shame. But Brooksy's loss is our gain, because we have guaranteed a new pole sitter here tonight in Cobalt, then, which I absolutely love. I'm just going to see some great racing from Brooks as well, and from the midfield then. So the highest he could, the lowest he can qualify is actually 13th position, because we've only got 12 cars in this qualifying session. As the Aston Martin team is getting ready, they're sending their driver out now. That's Picasso coming out of the pits then, and let's see what he can do. Surely he is the favourite now for pole position. Picasso has been very unlucky so far in his campaign. He's got 1 point, which I find absolutely extraordinary, really. So hopefully he can open his account properly in this race and beyond that. As we already mentioned, it's a tough order first couple of races, isn't it? So just watching Picasso coming down into the hairpin as well then. So 13 minutes to go in this qualified session there. I've got a really itchy finger again for some reason. I've got to say, I'm also absolutely shattered as well. I've had a busy old day at work. Oh gosh, and Picasso has gone into the wall there. Goodness me, I think he's had a long day as well as me. Unfortunately, he's just drone to the bars. He damaged the car. I think he may have done that. The Williams team are going to have to get to work a bit quick then. They're seeing their driver a little earlier than what they wanted to. Starburst down the back straight. Craig are doing a cracking job out there as well, by the way. Fantastic stuff indeed. Kakarot Gokus in Starburst and Dukanko for pole position. Oh, I'm liking that. Great stuff indeed then. Great stuff indeed then, as we're just now getting ourselves started. Oh, Picasso's looking at the chat then, that's why he went into the barrier. No worries. I think that teaches anyone not to read and drive at the same time. But Picasso has got plenty of time there to get that sorted. On board with Starburst at the moment now, who is one of Serious Mushroom's picks. One of Serious Mushroom's picks that is he's very active on that steering wheel there, and he's looking a bit lively there. Starburst says, let's go back to Craig R. He's looking okay then, so I thought it was my connection again, where I was probably streaming through a potato or something. On board then, back on board then with Starburst as well. He looks like he's not happy with this lap there, Starburst, isn't there? So he's abandoning his time slightly. So we're in qualifying 2 here. Of course, anyone that's new to Formula 1, welcome. If anyone, I should say welcome properly. Welcome. If of course anyone's new to LR, yeah, welcome. Of course, if you're new to Formula 1 though, the qualifying 2 session is that we've got another 15 minutes and to lose another 5 drivers. Or having said that, we've already lost 2. We've already lost 3, I should say. We're aiming to lose another 2 drivers, and whoever finishes 11th and 12th, whoever finishes outside the top 10 will be out of qualifying, and that top 10 will go through and take part in the top 10 pole position shootout, of course, then. And we're guaranteed a new pole sitter as well tonight, then. And I love it. I absolutely love it indeed, then. Of course, we love seeing drivers there really make their mark, don't we? And tonight is a golden opportunity for someone to really indeed make their mark on Cobalt. Here comes Craig R, who's really making a good mark in ALR. That's right, a great race last night. And you see an equally similar, decent job so far at the moment. But having said that, we're only in qualifying, of course. So maybe I need to slow my roll slightly. But we'll find out and Booty out on that track as well at the moment. Starburst is the furthest car forward, who is on a quick lap. He's coming into the second part, to the second or third chicane now, I should say. And there's a lot of chicanes around here, isn't there? I think there's 4 in total around Montreal. Of course, there used to be a lot of fast flowing. I don't think it was chicanes. There was actually more kinks, wasn't there? In the 94 configuration of this circuit, and 95 as well. But they did have they put in a temporary chicane right there, didn't they? To really slow the cars down, because this final part of that was quite scary actually, because there was a lot of it wasn't straight at all, was it? My goodness me, Starburst that close to the barrier. So it was a lot of fast kinks, wasn't it? The final section. Starburst goes faster by half a second there. J-Dog is squeezed in that half a second now to go second in the Haas car. Smithfield Mighty has leapfrogged both of those drivers, and he's gone fastest in the McLaren. Lovely stuff indeed then for Smithfield Mighty. Here comes Booty then. He's invalidated again, Booty has. And I think he needs to take it a bit low and slow. A bit like I can't remember his name now. The guy off Cars, the Cars. I can't remember his name now. Oh, that's really going to bug me. The guy who's got hydraulics in his car. I can't remember his name now. It's really going to annoy. And because of Vard, I was thinking Rodriguez, but that ain't right, is it? Ramiro? I'm not sure. Flag in sector 2. We're just watching at ZGS at the moment. ZGS's season thus far, he's got no points, unfortunately. Both Mercedes drivers haven't scored yet, have they? Can they put that right here tonight? And that has to be the aim for the Mercedes team, to get off the points then. To get off the mark then, and to score some points then for Mercedes then, to really put them in good stead from here on in then. ZGS is the slowest of the time runners thus far. Jinner coming across the line. He goes into 4 fastest in the second Aston Martin in the beautiful British Racing Green then. Winnie is invalidated this time. He's going to have to go around again then. Picasso then, who hopefully is not looking at the chat this time around, is just tackling the course here in Canada, going down into the hairpin then. 42-4 in the second split time as well for car 21 then. He's got a helmet on as well tonight. Good stuff indeed then for Picasso. Now then he's accelerating away then, coming up to the final chicane then as well for 13 and 14. And where is he going to break then? And goodness gracious me, oh goodness, man, we fade to break slightly too late there, didn't he? And that made the car run out slightly wide there, unfortunately, and that has cost him time. And there's this Red Bull, there's a lot of drivers out there that have got a really, I wonder if they got like low downforce on the cars to help them overtake, because their cars are looking very skittish out there, aren't they? It's making me very nervous indeed then, as we're in the chicane then. We're at the hairpin. I don't know what chicane and hairpin is. Oh my word there. Oh, well, I do know what a hairpin is. It's something, it's a pulls your hair back, which is something which I need, actually, because I've still got long hair. So I meant to have it cut on Saturday, but unfortunately, I decided to choose food over style, which is basically my, story of my life, really. I think One Direction sang that, didn't they? I used to be a big old fan of One Direction back in my youth, but there we go. There's a yellow flag in 2 as one of the Williams cars is just cruising back to the pits. I think it's Picasso. It is Picasso indeed. Look at how dull it's got over here at the moment. Have we got rain expected? I thought it was a dry session there. Of course, we had our first full dry event last night, didn't we? The first 2 races of ALR this week was absolutely a deluge, wasn't it? Especially Silver. It was heavy rain, wasn't it? It was raining cats and dogs there. Great driving from everyone on Silver at that point now. How there was no safety cars, how no one went off the road, and how no one had a major incident is beyond my recollection there. It's absolutely incredible stuff indeed then. Here comes Kaz then into the final turn as well, and he's close to the barrier. They're taking too much speed in the final chicane. That final chicane is looking so inviting for the drivers, isn't it? And unfortunately, you need to be a bit slower than that, don't you, going into Iron Knight's invalidated time. Here comes Dukanko, who's also invalidated as well. They're invalidating on the exit by the looks. They're going too wide, aren't they? And they're not helping themselves, are they? Iron Knight going across the line as well. And so let's see who's going on another lap. I think it's only Iron Knight who's got a lap still eligible at this moment in time. Here comes car 66, Iron Knight as well. And of course, driver of the day last time out in Baku. He's hoping he doesn't need to do a driver of the day performance like that again, because he ain't going to do a driver of the day performance like that again, because he's already almost doubled his start position from last week, because he's already in 11th position as it stands at the moment. But of course, we've got a couple more minutes to go in this qualifying 2 session. So we are far from done here. Yellow flags is fluttering all around the circuit. Well, now I've got a yellow flag in the top left-hand side there. Of course, that indicates that there is a danger on the circuit, and I think the danger is the Mercedes and CTS there, as he is cruising back to the pits as well, down into the hairpin as well, accelerating now. Look at that, that's a very overcast, that's a very overcast sky up there. That sky to me looks like that there is rain on the horizon. It looks like it's light rain, though, rather than a deluge. But let's see if this affects anything in the qualifying session, either in Q2 or 3. An invalidation there from Iron Knight. Once again, it's on the final corner as well. These drivers are kicking themselves in it because they keep invalidating the final, on the final corner. Dukanko going for another lap as well on board the Alpha Romeo driver. Dukanko is currently second in the World Championship. He can get within a Grand Prix win tonight. If things go his way, then he needs to score at least 4 points though to get within a win there of Championship leader Hamilton. That's how much of a gap between Hamilton and the rest of the field in Cobalt. He had 3 Grand Prix wins on the trot, didn't he, in Bahrain, Spain and Monaco. And that's a car facing the wrong way, and that's Iron Knight then, who has had a bite out the wall by the looks of things there, so he's going to have to go for another attempt as well. Dukanko running slightly wide there at the chicane, but that is still good enough. But he is still on course there to get a time on the board then, down into the hairpin as well. I'm not sure if rain is coming or not then, but it does look quite threatening up there. So we've had sunny skies to start this event here tonight, but all of a sudden it's looking very overcast up there, isn't it there? So I'll keep my eye on the sky, you keep an eye on the stopwatch there and see what Dukanko's time is. We also got to keep an eye on the track as well as he comes out of the final turn, and that is inch perfect there for Dukanko. He's nailed it as he got the time on the board. He is 7th fastest there, and that is enough at the moment. Smith Almighty is fairly happy with his performance there as he is coming back in the pits as well. Booty is invalidated this time again there, as he is not, so Booty needs to find another bit of time on the board. Then Iron Knight is retired from the session now, so he's going to be fair, so he doesn't want to get through in the qualifying 3, does he? So he wants to start on fresh tyres, fresh boots there, don't he? As we've also got some serious Russian saying that Knight's on a bit of a mare. Unfortunately, is there, as I think Booty is also looks like he is horsing around as well, isn't he, in a 12th position there. So Booty needs to get a fresh new set of boots on and needs to go out there and have a proper go of it instead of invalidating all the time. Craig R just in front of us at the moment, and Picasso out of the final turn then. Picasso not using the slipstream then, but he's keeping it to the right hand side of the grid. There he goes, full fast and all that good stuff indeed there. I've seen a comment there from Ross G saying, "Go Craig," and your wish is my command. So let's go on board with Craig, shall we? He is in 7th position at the moment now. He is on 2 lap out medium tyres. I'm wondering if in the race that if he has to start on those tyres, and they're going to have had 3 or 4 laps worth of qualifying mode put through them. So they're not going to be as fresh as they wanted to be, are they? Here comes Booty, who's got 3 minutes to go in this session. Can he set a time on the board? Then he needs to take it cautiously. He has took it cautiously through the final chicane as well. Here comes Booty across the line, and let's see where it puts him. It puts him in 6th fastest. A good 17th there from Booty, but I think he may want to ditch those tyres. He's done 5 laps on those now, so he probably want to ditch them there and put on a new set of rubber there. And here comes Craig Arden flying past me then as we come up to the final chicane as well. It's still quite hard though, so if it is going to rain there, because you can see the heat haze still coming off of the track there, couldn't you? On that long, my gosh, there, on that long shot there going into the final chicane as Craig R goes 2nd fastest. That's 4 laps on the medium tyres as well for Craig R. That's pretty impressive from the Alpine driver. Then Whitty goes across the line. He goes 10th fastest. He's done 11.0 there for Craig. Then we've just got an Alpine driver of Booty Delight there, just finding his way back onto the track then. So obviously just visiting the scenery there. Booty is, who's sound fast at the moment. Just watching Kaz there into the hairpin before accelerating away and building up speed once again then. Of course, if it rains, so it's going to have to pour it down into there because the track is quite hot then, as we already mentioned there. The heat haze is still coming off the track now. You can see it, can't you? The ripples coming off of the circuit. And yes, so we've now got Kaz that, oh, that's too greedy on the entry into the final chicane as well. And I keep saying final chicane now, turn 13 there, and unfortunately Kaz got out to have another go, but he can't have another goal in this lap. A minute and 24 to go in this session, and of course, well, it's gone overcast and now it's gone sunny again. Great stuff indeed then. So yes, as the sun is starting to beat down onto the track as well, as Craig Arden, as he finished off his lap. Nope, he's in the pits, and it's a very unusual pit in here. I think we've already seen a bit of the victims of this pit in here, haven't we? I think that's why we had a 5-place grid penalty yesterday for Mings, and also why we've had a bit of incidents with Scooby Stew here tonight as well then. So it's a bit unfortunate that there's a pit in there, but that's the nature of the circuit there, isn't it? No, we're going to have a similar nature to that in a 2 weeks time in Austria as well. That's also another difficult pit in. So but I think that this is probably, I expect more issues here than I do in Austria. On board Gino then in the Aston Martin Mercedes car, and he is a second down in the first split time there. Gino is there, so he's going to have to widen it up and go again by the looks of things. As we got Kaz, who's in limpo mode then, so he'll be starting 11 from the grid then. No, yes, he's going for another body chair. He flowed me into a full sense of security, Kaz then. We've got two drivers out on the second line. Dukanko, though, is going to be a little nervous at the moment, because if Kaz can find a 10th of a second on this lap, then Dukanko is out of qualified. Oh, gosh, everybody spun it out going out turn one. Once again, the rear end of these cars are a bit light there, aren't they? Oh my golly gosh there. On board then as going through the Fernando Alonso chicane then. Of course in 2005 there, I remember, for some reason I remember that quite well, probably because I was so shocked by the time, because up to that point of the season Alonso was quite peerless, wasn't he? And that's the end of qualifying there. So we've got our 10 drivers then through into qualifying too. The drivers that are out of qualifying now. Brooksy in 13th position there. He's been a naughty boy, so he's got a qualifying bad. We got Aaron Knight down in 12th position as Cyrus especially was less than impressed there by Aaron Knight, and as he was having a couple of issues there, wasn't he, Aaron Knight? As he was having a bit of a mare, wasn't he? We've also got Kaz out of qualifying as well. He's in 11th position then. So those are our 3 drivers then that have been knocked out of qualifying too. As Kaz there is just mowing the grass then. So good stuff indeed there. Of course, helping out the circuit organisators. I don't know. Circuit people. Very nice indeed then, as he is parked up. And he's called it a day there. So Kaz out of qualifying there. That was a very car-mentor qualifying, wasn't it? At the front, no, I don't expect it to be a car-mentor qualifying free. At the front, no, it is Smithfield Mighty, 2/10 a second in front of Craig R, who's really impressive tonight, isn't he? Good 17th there for Craig R, making his debut tonight in Cobalt. I'm looking at the final 3 drivers, and Brooksy out qualifying, Iron Knight and Kaz out qualifying. Unfortunately, as we now go to qualifying free. Only Booty Delight on the soft tyres, everyone else on the medium tyres there. So, and a lot of drivers have done a couple laps on those medium tyres as well. So how is that going to pay to the to their to their race strategies then? Well, the only one way you're going to be able to find out by that is by staying tuned, of course. Right then, we're now into qualifying free, and we're guaranteed a new pole sitter then for this Canadian Grand Prix then. So who is going to grab the ball by the horns then? Is there any balls in this qualifying session? Indeed there is. There is Winnie, who is driving the Red Bull as well. We've also got an AlphaTauri, which is actually not a well, it's not a Red Bull anymore, is it? It's a close line, isn't it? There. No, not an actual clothes line. I think it's a I don't know, a fashion or something like that. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I don't know. There we go. That just shows all about my fashion kind of things. So basically, I just still wear Adidas stuff, mainly because I think Adidas stands for All Day I Dream About Sean. Out of the pits now comes is that one of the Red Bulls, or is that one of the Alpine cars? There's too many blue cars on this circle, isn't it? It's Picasso who's exiting out now as well. Let's see what we could do then. As Picasso's out on the circle as well. I've been neglecting the comments. I apologise, guys. I've been waffling on about all kinds of nonsense. I have to say, come on, Booty, show good. Massive improvement. Hopefully, also Dave does well as well. Serious Russia, Dave Duncan or Sir Dave? Saying Sir Dave, saying just trying to confuse you, Ayrton. Well, of course, Ayrton saying, well, I hope everyone does well then. Lovely shot at the grandstand there. There's an Australian flag there, just fluttering away in the breeze. I thought Picasso left possession there, but it's just my tummy leaning on the controller there. As Kakarot Goku's got a bit of a crying emoji there for some reason. Oh, goodness me. We've also got Serious Russia. Oh gosh, there are plenty of balls this season as well there from Serious Russia. We've also got Kat saying, ZGS, forget the pass race. I want to see you on pole position there. Of course, ZGS hasn't scored any points this season, hasn't he? But of course, it's been a very difficult opening 4 events, hasn't it? And oh my word there, Picasso had all kinds of commitment there. That is fantastic. If he nails that lot down his quick lap, then I think that is going to be a very difficult task for the rest of the drivers to really you do exactly the same line. That's absolutely incredible stuff to say at least that Picasso but he straight line that first chicane there, so unfortunately he's going to get a slap on the wrist there. Picasso is there, as unfortunately he is deemed to have corner cut the course. Here comes the Kanko car 29 then in the Alfa Romeo. Then the last car 29 I remember in Formula 1 then, and I hope someone can help me out here. So I think it's Car Vennegar and Jean-Christophe Bouillon. I was talking about Bouillon back in the Monaco Grand Prix, really, because that's where he made his debut in Formula 1 then. Of course, Williams test driver back in 95, and he only drove a couple of races in F1, but for some reason I remember him quite well, because when I was playing on the Formula 1 95 game way back when I was a young nipper about 55 years ago, I remember him being quite good on the 95 game. Actually, he used to be quite annoying when I was doing my championship. When I was trying to win my championship with Martin Brundle in the Ligier, but that was a very long time ago. In the end, there he was too much for me, so I decided to switch to David Coulthard, and I still didn't win the championship. So there we go. Maybe I should just stuck with Schumacher and the medals on. We got Dukanko out of the final turn, and look at that, he's straight lining now, and he goes across the line. He's done a 9 there, and it's a low 9 as well there for Dukanko. He is on provisional pole position then for the Canadian Grand Prix. What about the Aston Martin of Gino then? Gino does a straight line, does he? And I wonder if I lost him a couple of tenths. Lovely, hello, Mr. Marshall. But we want to see the cars on the track here. As Smithfield Mighty is done a 9.8 then. As Dukanko has really been let out to play now, as he's currently fastest at the moment in the Alfa Romeo. Good stuff indeed then. We got J-Dog who is the Grand Prix winner in Baku just over a week ago. Then he would love to reminisce. He'd love to do something similar like that again here tonight. And he comes across the line. J-Dog goes second fastest. And look at that, the gap is still quite monumental as this Starburst goes into fifth position now. Bouillon just starts up, then Craig are out on the lap of the one. Now here comes Picasso. Of course, unfortunately invalidated his first time then, but what about his second time? This is a great time. It's pole position as well, and just over a tenth of a second as well from Picasso. It looked good, didn't it? He came across the line. Fantastic stuff there for Picasso. And and just as I said, Dukanko's gone faster still. Oh my goodness me! And then the shootout for pole position. These drivers are fighting for their first pole position in their careers, and they are Alr Cobalt. And they're not leaving anything on the table, are they? Here comes Gino then. He's going for a second bite of cherry as well. Then he is not using new tyres. And look at this then. They're all going for it again then. This is great. And now here comes Smithfield Mighty. He's gone for it as well. But Craig he is fifth faster than the Alpine car. I am loving this. And Winnie starting his slot up as well. Oh, brilliant stuff indeed. I really enjoyed that flurry then of these laps. And these are brilliant stuff, and they're not going in and doing more, not going in with new tyres. They're going for momentum here, aren't they? And this is brilliant. And here comes J-Dog going full fast as a half a tenth of a second improvement there. Good stuff indeed then. Booty there, who's out of the final turn as well. Booty, that's a much better. That's a bit beautiful as well there for Booty. He comes across the line. He is 8th fastest in the Alpha Tauri car. Winnie is on the back straight as well. ZGS is still in the pits at the moment then. So the Aston Martin is being wheeled back into the garage now. Winnie having to correctly oversteer there as well. Brooks is saying first pole for someone today. Indeed. Who will it be? Well, it's Dukanko, who is currently the man at the car, the driver to beat then at this stage of proceedings. It was 6 minutes to go in this qualifying session. It's a short track, this one is So so I think that we're going to see a couple more runs to go then. So this is not done and dusted. This is not the grid for the Grand Prix yet, is it? We have still got 6 minutes to decipher who is going to start where. Winnie out the final turn then. Let's see what Winnie can do then. Is he straight lining? Yes, indeed. And he's sticking to the left-hand side of the grid. There he goes. 8 fastest as well. 10 of a second in front of Booty, who is in 9th position there. Booty has found 7/10 of a second from somewhere in the second split time. That's really impressive stuff indeed. J-Dog is just behind him as well. Is J-Dog going to get a tricky, cheeky little slipstream? There he is in the background. And here he is then as he's coming down into the chicane then for, look at that then. So that's good run in and run out there. J-Dog's abandoned his time, come back into the pits and it's a good time for Booty. He's 8 fast at the moment now. And he's found a huge mungus amount of time in the second sector there. Good stuff indeed there. Winnie is just coming back into the pits as well. So 5 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Ducanco on pole position then for the Canadian Grand Prix with Picasso in second position. Smithy Almighty in third. J-Dog in fourth position. Craig in fifth. Sixth position is Jenna. Starbusters in seventh. Eighth position is Booty. Ninth is Winnie. 10th is CGS. And that is your top 10 for Canadian Grand Prix. Brooks is saying his teammates on pole position mode. And there he is then. You can't see him because he's in the garage. I love this shot, by the way. I think this is the only racetrack we have this shot on, but having said that, I've only commentated on 5 Grand Prix in Formula 1 2021 so far, so maybe I'm taking out of a pinch of salt then, because I don't really know all the camera shots yet, but there we go. Winnie there just coming back into the garage as well, so is Booch as well, and they got enough time to come in. Maybe they should take, no, Winnie's going for it again! Goodness me there! And Winnie out of the final turn, so Winnie is going for it again. Let's go on board with the Red Bull driver then. So he's going for it all now, all or nothing as we go in to turn 1 then. Seriously saying, go on, big dog. Oh, turn 1 there as well as the Honda engine is singing in the Canadian breeze here today. Isn't it absolutely beautiful indeed? That the Honda has a very distinctive engine though, does it? This is Honda's last season in Formula 1 then, of course, Red Bull taking over that power unit, aren't they? They're calling it Red Bull Engineering or something like that, then as they put their spin on things. We've got Jenner out on track as well, Picasso also on a quick lap. We're sticking with Winnie for the minute, and there's 2 Honda power cars out there. One at the moment, and Booty is still back in the pit lane. Hopefully he'll come back out in not too distant future. Winnie is found about 4300 of a second in the second split time, but he's not moving the world, is he, with this time at the moment? I wonder if he want to abandon his time and come back into the garage then, put on a new set of boots then and go for broke then. Remember, of course, everyone gets a new set of soft tires then, but if you want 2 new sets of soft tires, you have to bring your, oh gosh, he's clouted the barrier, and unfortunately that's invalidated this time as well for Winnie, and he's cruising across the line as well. So Winnie unfortunately losing an abundant amount of time. Picasso's 2 seconds down in the second split time, so he's had some issues there, and unfortunately, and now just coming into turn number 14 as well. Jenner also in the final part of the lap as well. Then there's saying that Red Bull Engineer is going to call it a kettle there as well. So it does sound like a kettle, doesn't it? Especially in the rain. Jenner goes across the line then 3 times second down as well. No improvements out there at the moment, is there? So that is very interesting stuff. Then it's the track. Oh my gosh, there's Picasso who's had a big old clout with the outside wall there. He's 100th of a second down the first sector time. The track doesn't seem to be yielding any more grip, does it? Oh, and he's clouting the bar again. Then goodness me, that Williams must be strong as an ox then, as he is really clouting the barrier. It's the left, right, centre, and Picasso there, who's found an abundance amount of time, but unfortunately that is not illegal, is it? J-Dog's invalidated his time before he's even got going there, so I think he invalidated the final corner there. Smithy Almighty there is going for another time running, but he's on old soft tires. And we have also got Starburst has invalidated his tires as well. Winnie is crawling back to the pit, so we're going to go on board. Ducanco is the only driver at the moment then who is looking strong. But having said that, just like I said, that Smithy Almighty puts 3 in one place there. He's also found for 10th of a second as well. Vintage saying good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Then ZJS is really relaxed, that laugh out loud. That he's so relaxed he hasn't come out of the pitch yet, has he? So I've got to say he's much more relaxed than I am, because I think he might need to get a shift on in that Mercedes car if he wants to get on the qualifying ladder. We have but looks like that he hasn't come on the pitch yet. He's really leaving it very late indeed. Ducanco is going to lower the bar even more. Then if this is the game of limbo, is he going to lower it too much? Then he is indeed. Then it's another 2/10 of a second he is found there, and Ducanco, my goodness me, how low can you go? Well, Ducanco is absolutely flexible possible. And he has now got 3/10 of a second in front. Fantastic there from Dukanko. Brooksy cheering on his teammate as well. Great stuff to see. Smithy Almighty has had a bit of a nightmare second and final sector. Unfortunately, he's got to find some more time than Jitter out on the lap at the moment. Starburst is also out there. Boot light there into the barrier. Unfortunately, he's not going to be very happy that I caught that then. I think he's being very cheeky there. I'm trying to get back into the pit there. And luckily, that hasn't disqualified him there. So he was a very lucky AlphaTauri indeed, then, wasn't he? Jitter's 10th of a second down in the second split time there. So the track is, apart from Dukanko, no one else has found any more time on the circuit then. So I'm quite surprised by that. I really am indeed then. So maybe the track is just not yielding any grip then. You would think the more Pirelli rubber that's laid down the circuit, they would go quicker, but that is not the case, is it, here tonight then? Out of the final turn then, taking it very cautiously indeed then. Dukanko's going for another time run here. Is he going to, oh my gosh, it's another fastest stop there. Dukanko's a machine out there. Wow, impressive stuff indeed then. So we've also got Starburst starting his lap as well in car 13. Booty is out of the race then, as he's in 8th position there. So if we can be very satisfied with that, that's absolutely incredible. Serious versus but Duncan Davies absolutely flying fantastic. What about Smithy? Smithy there can improve. He's still on the second row of the grid, and that's still showing that some improvement there from the McLaren driver. Can he get to the end of the race there without any shenanigans going on then? Jenner is a couple of seconds out the first section, and ZGS is out qualifying, unfortunately. Starbus said, who's in the second split time as well. I'm wondering if Dukanko's going for a second time run. He's a second down there, so I think Dukanko has really shown some incredible performance there. As Vintage has asked, has there been any upset so far? Well, I would say, of course, Brooksy not taking part, but of course that is, I think that's more of I think Brooks would probably be more upset about that because he had a qualifying two ban, unfortunately, didn't he? Unfortunately. Serge said, yes, one Haas car is out. We've also got Starbus said, out of the final turn as well. And let's see what Starbus can do. He is third fastest. Starbus is there, leaving it right to the very end of qualifying. The checker flag was fluttering in the breeze, and Starbus has moved himself onto the second row of the grid. Then very good stuff indeed. Then absolutely impressive. And yeah, very good stuff indeed there for Starburst. And I think that's the end of qualifying, which means Dukanko is on pole position and for the first time in his ALR career. Really good stuff indeed there for Dukanko, and that is actually that is Aston Martin. That is AlphaTauri's fourth pole position in 5 Grand Prix this season. They are absolutely dominating the qualifying sessions at the moment, and good stuff indeed there. And that's now 9 pole positions between the Alfa Romeo team mates. Really impressive stuff indeed there. Fantastic stuff. That's just on board with Starburst coming back into the pits. Vintage asking where's his Red Bull boys? Vinny in 9th position now, and we have also we got the other Red Bull in the rest of the field. Brooksy saying, let's go Alfa Romeo. Got 4 poles this season thus far there for Brooksy. Indeed, and as Brooksy, you stole my thunder there. We've also and no, that is the end of qualifying. And 3/10 of a second then between Dukanko and the rest of the field. Then Dukanko possibly could have and should have won Baku, perhaps, but this might be another opportunity to put that right here tonight potentially. So Dukanko on pole position then for the first time in his Alr Cobalt career. Magnificent stuff indeed then. And as Brooksy said in the comments there, fantastic stuff there. 4 pole positions in 5 Grand Prix for the Alfa Romeo team. Now that's really good stuff indeed then. The only non-Alfa Romeo driver on pole position was actually Hammer Time back in the Monaco Grand Prix. As we're now building up to the start of the Grand Prix itself, and of course we've had beautiful sunshine. There's only a glimpse of there's some black clouds though hovering overhead, as you can see just above the circuit. Then is that going to pull a downpour on the circuit? Is it going to be enough to wet the track, enough for intermediate or wet tires? Then I must say that cloud doesn't look threatening at the moment, but we'll see how that one plays out, shall we? But we are expecting a full dry race, so we Dylan saying best of luck to everyone as well in Cobalt as well. So good stuff indeed there. But yeah, then once again it's a beautiful day. Then there's a car who's on the back of the grid grid there, shaking there as he's getting himself ready to get going there. We've also got McLaren on the back row as well. He's got a 5-place grid penalty. Remember last night Mings was started 12th on the grid then after a 5-place grid penalty and won the race then. So it's not all doom and gloom, is it? As we mentioned last night, of course, the lowest driver to win a Grand Prix in F1 history is actually John Watson back in the 1983, was it Long Beach Grand Prix or something like that? I can't remember. I think he started 22nd and his teammate started 23rd. I can't remember. It was something to do with the tires he was on that day. Was the McLaren using Pirelli that day? I can't remember. Anyway, of course, all the cars in this race is using Pirelli as far as I can tell. 2 drivers on the soft tires, Sir Dave and Booty. Buckass on the hard tires. Everyone else is on the medium tires. So that was nice and easy, wasn't it? Let's go for the grid chart from front to back. Dukanko on pole position for his first pole position of his career in ALRs right here in the Canadian Grand Prix. He is second in the World Championship. Dukanko is, remember, a win today will put him within 4 points of the championship lead of Hamilton, and Hamilton has dominated in the race he's been in so far. But let's see how it plays out though with a driver then within striking distance of Hamilton. We'll see how that one goes in the French Grand Prix in a week's time there. But that's in a week's time there. We don't need to be thinking about think about France or anything like that. We need to be thinking about Canada. We need to be thinking about Picasso and the other 19 drivers then. Picasso is on the second position on the front row of the grid then. Starburst in third position. Dylan Saini is raring to go in third position. Smithfield Monty in fourth. He's good, isn't he? Smithfield Monty, he needs some good luck now. Can he get some major points on the board for himself and the McLaren team? J-Dog last week's Grand Prix winner. I think he started 5th as well, J-Dog did. So can he repeat that performance again here tonight? We shall see. Craig R on his day before Cobalt in 6th position. Jenner in 7th in the Aston Martin in 7th position. Booty in 8th position. 9th is Winnie. 10th position is ZGSN. Hasn't got a point for the Mercedes or for himself yet. Can he get himself sorted then? Get himself and the Mercedes team sorted and get some points on the board for the team. Kaz in 11th position. 12th position is R Knight. All these drivers can pick whatever tires they want then. Brooksy in 13th position now. He has got brand new medium tires, as the rest of the drivers. Buckass in 14th. He's aiming for some points as well in the Mercedes. 15th is Sir Dave. He's going to be lighting off the grid then on soft tires. Stars in 16th position there. 17th position is Casal. 18th position is Lucky Boff. 19th position is Krusty T. Hopefully Krusty T can go a bit further than what he did in qualifying. And 20th position is Scooby Stew's got a 5-place grid penalty there for being a naughty Scooby in qualifying one then. Critical Calibre saying good luck Cobalt as well. Duncan will remove his helmet, and it's Scooby Stew then. Would have got away with it too if it wasn't for those pesky kids as well. Right, that is now we're going to the start of the Grand Prix. 31 laps around here, and I don't know why I've done that. There we go, that's better. Alright, the lights are on then. Revs are building, and for one more time it is go, go, go for the Canadian Grand Prix as our Red Bull right in the middle there, and we're going down to, and Picasso's on the inside then, but he's getting pressurized there from the Aston Martin car on the outside. It's all Starburst there on the grass there, going into turn 1 as well. And I think that we've all got away safely. No, we haven't. There's a Ferrari off fed, and it's and Sir Dave is off in a major way, and Sir Dave is parked in the middle of the road. He is out of the Grand Prix. A 5-second penalty for Jenner as well. And Dave has not even gotten to turn 2 there. So 3, I say. I don't know how Dave went off there. Goodness me. And he's out of the Grand Prix, Sir Davis. And those soft tires gamble, unfortunately, could have paid off there, but it hasn't paid off. A safety car right from the get-go here. A 5-second penalty for Jenner as well, unfortunately, for going to the back of Booty. And, well, that's unfortunate there for Sir Dave, out of the Grand Prix before he even got going in this race then. So that's just a bit disappointing, isn't it, for the Alpine driver then. So at the moment we did see a black cloud, didn't we, above the starting grid at the moment, but that seems to have passed away at the moment now. Is we've got lovely blue skies around the rest of the circuit here. Dylan saying carnage already. Cirrus Rusho is going to be absolutely gutted then as Mr. Davis out of the race then. So Dukanko leads Picasso in second, Starburst in third position. J-Dog in fourth, he's up 1 position. Smithfield Monty is down 1 position. Craig R is retained his position. Booty's gone past, and Jenner got up in position. Jenner dropping down a position. Brooks up 4 positions then. in the Alfa Romeo. I think he's made the second or third most positions. Indeed, he has. Winnie is up down one position there. ZGS is down one position. Scooby Stew is up 8 positions there. Crustier T up 6 positions. Lucky Boff up 4 positions. Stars up 1 position as well. Iron Knight jumped down 4 positions. 3 positions for Buckass. Kaz right at the back of the field. Then we've got both Ferraris unfortunately coming into the pits here. Kaz has just been serviced there. Now we have got the hard tyres ready for the Ferrari team as well. Look at this, as the Ferrari are going to have to get ready for new nose cones as well then. So 2 new nose cones for the Ferrari car said after only 1 lap here, and it will be back going in just a jiffy there as well. 35 laps around the Canadian Grand Prix. Car 56 coming out of the pits now of Cassel then as he accelerates away. There he goes, and he has been unleashed. We've seen Kazawa putting the wrong way around. We didn't see what happened with Sir Dave, though, and Kazu. It looks like, I'm not sure if M3 came to blows or whatnot, but Kaz has had to come into the pits, unfortunately. Dave's car has already been removed, but unfortunately he is out of the Grand Prix. And I think that's Sir Dave's second DNF of his career and season here in Cobalt in 5 starts. So that's not too shabby at all for Sir Dave, but unfortunately he's out of the Grand Prix. We're just on board with Kazawa just to try to recover the time he lost then after that opening pit stop here. We're going back to the tyre charge as well, and so Kaz has gone for soft tyres here. Kassel has gone on to the medium compound tyres then. So 2 different strategies then for the Ferrari team. Then Kaz is going for an attacking strategy, so see him fly through the field then, whilst Kassel is going for more of the race strategy then. So we're not going for an attacking strategy just yet into the pit seconds. Booty, who is going on to the hard tyres now that they're on the race. Buckass is in that major issues there, and what's out of Buckass are just on board, and I'm not sure what's happened to Buckass. Like, I can't even see him. I'm not sure what's happened to Buckass. Said if or whatnot. Then Booty coming out in 18th position, but we've lost 2 cars already, and that unfortunately Buckass in full Grand Prix has not seen the checker flag yet in the Mercedes car. 4 starts and 4 DNFs then for Buckass, unfortunately. But we do have 1 Mercedes left in the race then for you Mercedes fans. Is ZGS said, who is currently in 10th position at the moment then. So ZGS said still has the hopes of the Mercedes team on his shoulders, saying, can he get some points for the Mercedes team here tonight? And that is one thing that we are going to be keeping an eye on, I think, in this one, because of course we like to keep an eye on everyone up and down the field. Then 2 retirements, Buckass out of the race under mystery circumstances, and also mystery is Sir Dave as well, who's parked in the middle of the circuit there. Safety car is in the end of that, so we got a lot more prior warning than we did last night, didn't we? So safety car was in, but it said it was coming in then, but it still did another lap, didn't it? So Dukanko, who I think he did quite a lot of safety car restarts in Baku a week ago, so now this safety car restart is not as difficult as in Baku, not by a long shot, as he is just trying to warm up those tyres, even though I'd say it's quite warm out there anyway, isn't it? But even still, you have to generate some heat into these Pirelli tyres, don't you? Because that is how, because of course, the more heat, the more grip you've got, then you can't overheat those tyres, because if you do overheat those tyres, you will have the opposite problem with no grip again. Right then, so when is he going to drop the hammer then? When is Dukanko going to go? I think we're going now. We are going now. We have gone then, and Dukanko leads the Grand Prix. Second is Picasso. Third position is Starburst as well. Starburst all over the back of the Williams car now. And look at this. He's having a look into turn 1. It's a short straight then. Crustier T, unfortunately, is out of the race then, as we've got a great battle here then. Oh my gosh, look at this. There's 4 abreast here. And Smithfield Mighty J-Dog, as Smithfield Mighty's been hung out to dry there. And look, now we've got the Aston Martin of Gin now in the 5th position as well. Brooksy, as we have 6 said, Boo Delight is facing the wrong way in the back of the field there in the Alpine car, in the AlphaTauri car, unfortunately, as Crustier T is left for session, and Craig is down into 40th position. He's got damage on the Alpine car, and the Ferraris are trying to go through, as Craig there just limp in, is just trying to limp back to the garage as well, and unfortunately, no, Booty is there actually then, so I'm looking at the wrong car. Yeah, I was looking at the other Aston. Oh no, Jenner's out of the Grand Prix, and he has got off, and he's in the wall as well, and we have lost 4 cars already in this Grand Prix. Let's see if that's going to be a safety car. I don't think it is, so I was explaining the safety car already, and we're now on the back track. So Dukanko he's already out of DRS race. We have a safety car for the Aston Martin car, and Ginner out of the Grand Prix as well. Unfortunately, that's Ginner's second, as I thought. as a junior out of the race, and that's junior second Grand Prix, second DNF in 5 races as well, unfortunately. Into the pits, there comes Picasso, so he is making a strategy change here, and he comes into the pits. And what tires going on is on the medium tires again, Picasso, so he's still guaranteed to make another stop in this race. Of course, the rule is you must have 2 types of tire in this race. Craig Arr's got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit, and he's going to be kicking at that one, especially with a safety car out there as well, because I don't think that he didn't really need to rush that, I don't think, because he wouldn't have gained up ground anyway. Kaz is just out, just in front as well. We've also got Iron Knight coming out of the pits. He's onto the soft tires, as is Craig R as well, going onto the soft tires. Had a great qualifying performance, as is Craig R. Can he have a decent race as well? As he now comes back out of the pits, and away he goes in car 24. Then 4 retirements. We did see one of the crusty teeth, but it looked like he hit the wall of champions. Junior out of qualifying as well in this. There's so many chicanes around it. It's very difficult to get through, isn't they? We've got 30 laps to go in the Grand Prix. 40 laps. No, we only got 30 laps to go in the Grand Prix. I was wondering why that felt really odd. That is because it's completely wrong. Completely wrong. Burmeilander out 2 times in a row then is Dylan has had 2 safety cars already. Becca in the comments as well. Hello. I used to love that program, by the way, as I think it was quite a good sitcom as well. I think, I'm not sure, do they still have TV UK Gold on Sky? I don't know anymore, really, to be fair. But yeah, that used to be on every Sunday afternoons, and along with Only Fools and all that kind of stuff. It was usually a nice thing to wind down to after watching a very exciting Grand Prix from back in the early 2000s. Of course, then, unfortunately, I don't think there was a very exciting Grand Prix back then, because unless you was a Schumacher fan, of course, as there are some quite difficult years then. If anyone ever got bored of the Lewis Hamilton domination, go back and watch the 2000 Grand Prix. My goodness me. Yes, they were quite, some of them did feel like quite long races then. But I suppose it's from a different point of view, really, isn't it? Of course, if you're a Schumacher fan, you're probably loving it. And because I'm not going to say anything other than I am a Hamilton fanboy. And one of those arrows pointing the wrong way in the Ferrari garage, but never mind. But yeah, of course, I'm a big old Hamilton fanboy. And I'm probably, and I do enjoy, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy this era of Formula 1, but I'm not the biggest lover of the hybrid era, I must say, of Formula 1, but don't get me wrong, I'm going to watch it every step of the way. No, of course I will. Even if they have, I even watched it when they had no tyre changes back in 2005 and all that kind of stuff as well. But then, of course, even when we had that very odd qualifying rule in 2016, was it? Does anyone remember that? Where a car was knocked out every 90 seconds or so. It sounded all right in theory, but yeah, it didn't go well at all. I think they only had it for 2 races before it was dropped. Because yes, it didn't go well at all, did it? But there we go. So we just watch it. ZGS is facing the rock. ZGS is in major issues then, and ZGS has dropped it under the safety car, and the Mercedes car is going to drop all the way to the back of the Crocodile. Has he damaged the car? I can't see from this camera shot here. Oh my golly gosh, said he doesn't look like he's got damage, but my untrained eye can see a whole front wing now. I do need a Ted Kravitz, don't I, to have a look at that wing, because he can see every detail, even when the cars are going at 200 miles an hour. As the safety car is now coming in, and that's flashed up on our screens, and we'll be back going at once again. Chris Gallagher already attempted to beat our bronze record then. Oh my gosh, I can't even remember how many safety car bronze had last. I think it was 5, wasn't it? Picasso jumping down the order as well. Picasso's got a 5-second penalty for a collision with Styles. Oh no, and Picasso seems to have some issues with the safety cars, don't he? We're back racing. Dukanko just accelerating away once again as we go down into turn 1. As Kaz got a 3-second penalty as well. Here we are in turn 1 then. Starburst is alongside Casal. I'm going to look there, but Casal showing in the rear wheel there. He's not letting him through into turn 1 as he Gordon saying, hello, go on Ferrari. As Ferrari coming in. Oh, Styles is out. Oh, the wing is right in front there. And that's a big smash there. And for Styles there, and unfortunately he's out of the Grand Prix in the Red Bull. And yes, and that is right in the middle of the circuit as well. And that is quite a huge incident there. Just and hopefully we're going to have another safety car. The Red Bull is still in the line of fire, but the Crocodile is all around the other party circuit there. It's a short circuit, this one is, and the Red Bull is gone then, so we're carrying on then. No safety car. Thank goodness me then. Otherwise, I think we would have had to have another boring history about my life of watching F1 back in the early 2000s. Watching Brooksy, who is now up in the 4th position there. Of course, he hasn't come to the pits yet. The highest driver to come in the pits is Picasso, albeit he does have a 5-second penalty. And now then, as we go right underneath the gearbox of smooth from Mighty Brooks. Has not won a Grand Prix yet, which I cannot believe. Scooby Stew is trying to defend his position there, but Winnie's forcing his way through. Goodness gracious me there. Here comes Lucky Boff, and he's moved himself up, and oh gosh, we got our free abreast side. The Williams are through. It's a double team there. As both Williamses getting past Winnie and through and up into up into 6th and 5th position there. We've also seen Brooksy now in the 3rd position as well. Stars is going to be furious. He's out of the Grand Prix, unfortunately. Castal's all over the back of Winnie as well. Winnie is very much losing momentum here, isn't he, in the Grand Prix? That's right, we are flying past me now. And now coming into the second chicane as well, and a lovely Albert design, by the way, from Castle here. Absolutely love it. Fantastic stuff indeed. That and he is now gaining now on to the back of the Red Bull. Then as we go down into the 3rd, 4th chicane. I don't know what chicane we're on anymore, but this is the closest battle on track. I tell a lie. The closest battle is actually this battle here between Scooby Stew and Starburst. And Starburst down. Look at no dice at the moment. It's Starbust, by the way, not Starburst. Craig has just got past Booty as well. So we've now got an Alfa Romeo 1-2 here. Then Brooksy has got past, and Dukanku's got a 3-second penalty. That may cost him. That may cost him dearly in this one. Then Winnie has just dropped down to finish there. As it's that chicane again. Then Casalo's got another penalty. I think it's the same place he had a couple of laps ago as well. And just flying through as well into the pits. There comes the ZGS. Someone ZGS did get damaged there under that safety car spin, unfortunately, which is such a shame. Then DRS has now been enabled. I think that's the first time this race that DRS has been enabled then. So now let's see what we can do there. Let's see what the drivers can do there. So Brooksy is now gone from 13th on the grid there to 2nd in this Grand Prix. He has not won a Grand Prix yet this season, has he there? So this is where Brooksy's season really starts to take shape, I feel. Scooby Stew's got a penalty as Craig has gone the inside of Booty. Craig is through, passes Booty and moves up in the 13th position now. And now Kaz is right behind Booty then. And in the battle for 13th round or 14th position around there. Booty's going for a longer stint in this stage of the Grand Prix there. So whilst Iron Knight and Craig needs to get on with it, Lucky Boff has just got past his teammate as Picasso is marching on in the Williams. He's now over the 5th position. Picasso's only scored 1 point, which was back in Bahrain, and that's the season opener there. So he's been on a bit of a barren spell since then, hasn't he, Picasso? But let's see that if he could if we're going to put that to one side, then Scooby Stew up into 8th position now, and Scooby Stew on a cracking old Grand Prix at the moment. He's gone from 20th there. Oh, but he's wrong foot himself out of the final chicane, and Winnie retakes the place there. He's back in front, or is he? Oh my goodness me, he's going into turn 1 there. Winnie giving him just about enough room there. Great racing for both drivers. I love that. Scooby Stew up into 8th position there. Winnie down to 9th there. Also, we got Iron Knight and Starbust there starting to really lock horns as well. Starbust there currently on the hard tyres there. Now Iron Knight is on the soft compound tyre as well. Brooks is now within DRS range. So his teammate Dukanko, incredible stuff indeed. Was Dukanko expecting his teammate to be so close to him already at this stage of proceedings? I would have hazarded a guess. Is probably saying no, but you could never put nothing past Brooksy, can you? Kaz has got another 3-second penalty. Remember, penalties can make or break a Grand Prix. We've seen that over the course of the last couple of races. I think he's in gold, but he finished way down in 11th position in the end. Kaz, Willie there, who's really showing there, but he hasn't come into the pitch yet. So those medium tires has gone through the start phase as well, and gone through a qualifying phase as Brooksy takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Dukanko, I wonder if I was a engineered manoeuvre there, because I don't think he made that too difficult, did he, on his teammate there, as Brooksy set a fast half the race, but he is coming through like a freight train. Maybe Dukanko couldn't really have much to say about it. I know, into the final case. Well, oh goodness me, as Iron Knight there getting a bit too happy on the throttle there. Booty Delight has got a 3-second penalty. There he is in the background there, but we're just watching Iron Knight and getting past Winnie and up into 10th position. Oh gosh, no, because there's a cloud there, and Iron Knight is off and into the wall. Though he's just about saved it there. But yes, unfortunately, side by side to turn 1 there, it's never going to end too fruitful around there unless one driver yields there and gives up that position there. But I didn't see anyone go to give up that position there, as both drivers were fighting tooth and nail for that position, weren't they? Now we're on board with Craig then, and we've got a couple of laps under our belt now then, so we're getting into a bit of rhythm, these drivers, are they? 7 tenths a second the gap is at the front, and J-Dog in 3rd position. I go for a second podium in a row. J-Dog is fantastic. Picasso is now, who's the highest runner on these, who's the highest runner on fresh medium tyres then. So, of course, Picasso is now has really swapped his strategy around that. That's what I get for using big words then. I completely stumped myself there. He's swapped his strategy now, has he? So he's on medium tyres again then. and he's up in the 5th position. And Picasso, he's flying through the field. Then a good performance so far from Picasso there, but I'm not going to say anything more because I don't want to jinx the Williams driver. Scuba Shooter dropped down 10th position. Craig has got past Willie and moved up into 10th position as well, and that's the point. Scuba Shooter's come into the pit set. There's a schedule stop there for Scuba Shoot. He's done 10 laps on the medium tyres. They can do a lot more than that. I think Scuba Shoot has got some kind of issues, and the McLaren mechanics are getting their nose cone ready. They have got a nose cone ready. He's in the pits there. Major problems there, and that's such a shame then. Also, Booty is in as well. That's also a damaged front wing there to Booty, so he's going to be kicking himself. That's such a shame now for Booty. On board then with Cassell once again, who is in at 7th position at the moment now. And who's really giving Lucky Buff some cause for concern. It's in the Balfour 6th and 7th position. Then there they are then, coming into the 3rd chicane as well. And look at this, and Lucky Buff really struggling there. Is Cassell is on the emergence here, isn't he? He's flying, isn't he, in that Ferrari, and doing a cracking job indeed then. So the gap at the front then, 4/10 second there, because I'm wondering if the Alfa Romeo drivers are doing some team tactics here and just pulling each other along there, or maybe they're not at all, because there's contact, and Brooks has been given a 3-second penalty, and oh no, and Dukanko and Brooks have come to blows. Oh, and but I think there was also a bit of a jump as well, as I thought there was a bit of team tactics there, but no, they have come together there. Dukanko gave him the slight nudge, didn't it, and it gave it made Brooksy go a bit wide there, and then it also made him go into the battle. I'm not sure if he got the car got on the power a bit too early then or whatnot, but Brooksy is out of the Grand Prix here, and my goodness me, the Alfa Romeo team have come to blows, and goodness me, wow, that is really put a sting in the tail here in this Grand Prix, hasn't it? Oh my goodness me. And wow, the scenes here in Canada, my goodness gracious me, we've got another safety car. This is the 3rd safety car, the Grand Prix now then, so we've got pit action as well. Into the pits comes R9. He's now from the hard tyres. R9 he did very good on those hard tyres in Baku just over a week ago, didn't he? Great performance as well for Iron Knight. Well, Dukanko is not going to be. It's not going to be the most. What can I say? I gotta say, Dukanko's not going to be the most popular driver in Fred Vassar's camp at the end of this one, is he? As they had a 1-2 going on. They had a 1-2, didn't they? The Alfa Romeo team. Unfortunately, they have unfortunately the slightest tap, and he was into the wall, wasn't he? Of course, there's and that is just so unfortunate, isn't it? Dukanko in the pit set. So here he comes in the pit set. He's going on the soft tires. Dukanko is that, and yes, I think Fred Vassar is going to be. It's not very happy at all. And Picasso is going on to the hard tires. But oh goodness me, both the Williams team then are queuing up behind here. I think that this is the only sensible option. Unfortunately, when he got to, and oh, it's the Ferrari just going past Picasso and moving up into 6th position. Lucky Buff ran into the pit. Dukanko is out of the car. Oh my goodness me, he's poured, and he's gone for 2 laps ago. It's a 1-2, and now both of Alfa Romeos are out of the Grand Prix. What is going on here? Oh my goodness me! And look, he's just parked in the middle of the circuit. What is going on there? And Dukanko is Scuba Sean taking face of action there, and I don't know, because oh my word, there is he just taking his car into his hands there. Oh my goodness me! So both Alfa Romeos out of the Grand Prix. It looked very much in control, didn't it, 2 laps ago? And now all of a sudden, it's all gone completely Pete Tog in this one, hasn't it? Oh my goodness me! Taking a look at the comments there, it's just Russian. No way. Alpha comes together there. The Beatles make a song about that. Percy saying Brooks is so unfortunate there. Brooks said he's hit me out. As Brooks said, unfortunately, yes, we sit on the stream, unfortunately, but we didn't see what happened to Dukanko, unfortunately. We've also got Dylan going, oh gosh, there, and Brooks is saying, well, he's on Brooks as well, so that's such a shame. Safety cars didn't end this up, and we don't know what happened with Dukanko, but Brooks is out of the Grand Prix. We're down to 13 runners, so we haven't got to half distance yet here in this Grand Prix. And once again, just like in bronze last night, and there is just action galore in this race, isn't there? Absolutely incredible stuff indeed. Casal's got a 5-second penalty, and goodness me, it's a severe collision there. And Picasso's now got in front of Casal as well, so overtaken in a safety car. I mean, I would never do that. As we're starting a lap now, lap 15 then. Starburst is now leading the Grand Prix. He hasn't come in the pit, so he hasn't. Well, he has come in the pit, but not recently. as Lucky Buff then going up the inside, then having a look there, but Winnie is not going to be yielding, is he? Winnie is in the Red Bull. Of course, he's now got tyres to fight this time, has he, Winnie? And he is not going to say after you, sir, is he? As it's Lucky Buff then making his debut tonight then all over the back, isn't he? As we go into the second chicane. No, it's the first chicane. I don't know where I am. Oh my goodness me. And as I say, did Duncan hit the safety car? Oh, to be honest, that was my first guess, actually. To be honest, I'm glad someone else said it. But as I'm trying to bring that safety car, I seem to have nightmares. Bert Mylanders doesn't like me. He doesn't like Ayrton either. As a matter of fact, as he completely punted Ayrton off in Hungary. We've got Lucky Buff, who's now dropped down, gone up into 6th position, I should say. Winnie dropped down to 7th. Now Craig is his next target. Then Picasso's now is on hard tyres now. Is that going to go to the end of the race then? Well, we're going to have to wait and see, because it's going to be good indeed. Lewis G is saying, come on, Craig, and here is Craig on our screens at the moment. Hey, oh, goodness me, as J-Dog there is right underneath the gearbox of the race leader, and there he is then. And we've also got Craig down, and look at Whitty as well, but he's not quite close enough as I'm flicking backwards and forwards. I don't know where I am at the moment now. So just now going to the back, to the front of the field as well. As Starburst is still currently leading the way then, but look at this. I think J-Dog, he could potentially be going for another Grand Prix win of his career. However, he's got a 3-second penalty there as soon as I say it. There it goes. But oh gosh, sir! But he still has to get through, though, doesn't he? Nonetheless, because look, there is so straight from Mighty Casal has his penalties burning as well, but Picasso's got no penalties whatsoever, and that is going to be crucial in the outcome of this Grand Prix. Oh my gosh, there is J-Dog is very intent, is very enticed on getting past the Aston Martin car. Of course, he's on the hard tyres. Is it the two guns on the soft tyres? Casal on medium tyres. Then we've got Picasso on hard tyres. Why? He's only a second back from these quadruple cars. Then where is he? We're looking for the White Williams. There he is, there in the background there. Good stuff from Picasso. Back on board there with Smithfield Mike. They are now starting to really reel in Starburst there, but Starburst doing a good job there. Is reminiscent of Ming's last night. Not Ming, sorry. I think it was Ben Gallagher on the hard tyres, wasn't it? They couldn't get past Ben Gallagher, could they? But they was all queuing up behind him. It was cracking. And he even shared a meme earlier on then, of course, where I think Fernando Alonso's car, which was blown up, which was extra large, blown up, wasn't it, in the Silverstone Grand Prix. If anyone has not seen that meme, I suggest you find it in Discord, because it's quite funny. And if you're not in Discord, then ALR Discord, then why the hell not there? Of course, if you do want to sign to ALR, then go to www.alresports.com. Then that's my cheeky little plug for today. Then, so hopefully I'll get an extra Freddo at the end of this race. Back with the battling quartet. Then in the lead of the Grand Prix, half distance is upon us now in this race. On board the Ferrari Casal. Let's take a quick look at the penalties. 11 seconds of penalties now. Then is a Lucky Buff has just got past Picasso. Picasso's on hard tire, so that might be why his strategy at this stage of the race may not be as hot as everyone around him. But there he is. He's still sitting very nicely in that 6th position. Then the Ferrari of Casal is having a good run there, but not quite. 3 seconds for Starburst, 6 seconds for J-Dog, 5 seconds for Smithfield Mighty, 11 seconds for Casal as well. The Casal and Smithfield Mighty will have to serve those penalties in the pit box as well then, if they are going to come in for another pit stop, which I hazard a guess, I think that they will, or at least who was I talking about? I can't remember now. Never mind. Anyway, carry on. J-Dog is taking the lead of the Grand Prix. And now Smithfield Mighty has got past us. The Starburst lost the lead going into the final chicane whilst I was trying to figure out what I was trying to say. And then Smithfield Mighty is also taking second position as well. But Starburst is now that he's right underneath the gearbox of the McLaren driver. But I think that battle might be futile at this stage of proceedings there, isn't it? And now we've got the Ferrari Casal, who is now also starting to get on to the back of get on to the back of Starbus as well. Lap 18 in the Grand Prix. Currently then we're quite bunched up at the moment there, from first all the way down to 12th position there. They're almost within a second of each other. Boot is about 2 seconds away from our night then. We've also got 2 seconds in front as J-Dog is now starting to really put the hammer down, isn't he? So those 2 seconds could be crucial later on the Grand Prix. There's a lot of penalties out there as well then. So we are not going to go anywhere until we definitely know the results in this Grand Prix then, of course, which we normally do anywhere in Alr. But I'd just like to run the point home then. Craig is also ramming his car home in 7th position there. And he is through, passes out Winnie. Or is he? Because Winnie is absolutely mighty out that final corner, isn't he? He's got a wicked run. And he's now going into turn 1 as well. Great stuff indeed there. But Craig is going to try and stay on the inside. Not quite. But he does have the perch there. They have similar life attire. Craig, though, is still behind. Winnie is great out that final 14, isn't he? Absolutely brilliant. The way he just gets such a good run then. Lucky Boff is now over to 5th position. He's had a great race, Lucky Boff is. Really impressive stuff indeed there. Making his debut tonight. Gone slightly under the radar has the Lucky Boff is, but now all of a sudden he's very much in the thick of things there. And Smithfield Mighty has not got too far in front of this battle at the moment now. So I'm quite surprised by Smithfield Mighty's pace. And I thought it'd be a bit quicker at this stage. Or maybe he is just thinking a couple of laps. Oh my God! I've just oh my gosh, I almost soiled myself there. Oh gosh, that made me jump. Right then, guys, but we do know that Craig is facing the wrong way. And oh my goodness me, we've now got 3 cars at this Starburst. It's Casal, it's Lucky Boff. It's now Casal, Starburst and Lucky Boff. Oh gosh, goodness gracious me, that Williams is trying to force his way through. Picasso's in the pits there. So I think Picasso got damage there. He must have damage there because that hard tire is going to go to the end then. Yellow flag that is. So we got Iron Knight is facing the wrong way as well. Oh, and he's driven into the wall there. Iron Knight has that. Picasso has got damage and he's on soft tires now. Iron Knight, they're trying to recover. Unfortunately, what a shame now. So the issue then with Picasso wasn't tires; it was damage to the car. And what a shame now that's a huge shame now, isn't it? There for Picasso there, but Picasso still got opportunity to get himself back into the Grand Prix. I'm looking at the wrong back control here. As we were just watching Starburst, and Lucky Poffet is Starburst then seems to be kind of be teleporting here, there, and everywhere at the moment. Search Russia one was sitting at Craig's dinner there. Oh my word, there you good job you weren't sat next to me because you would have seen my dinner. But Lucky Boffin accelerated out the chair pit as well. Look, Casal on the medium tires is flying out there. Here comes Lucky Boff, and he's also through as well. And over to 4th position, Starburst's tires are quite old now, but he's trying to go to a sensible window, and this might be the sensible window that we've been waiting for. Indeed it is. That's a Starburst in the pit set. Is he going to go into the medium tires, or is the soft tires going to be able to do 15 laps around here? Well, our answer is it's the medium tires there for Starburst then. And there he goes then, Starburst then, who has not won a Grand Prix yet, has he, in his Cobalt career. He finished 3rd in the he finished just outside the top 3 in the in last season's, didn't he? So let's see what he can do here on in, and he's going to be a major player, I think, in the outcome of this Grand Prix. And there's Iron Knight out of the Grand Prix, and he's coming to the pits, and it looks like he's called it a day there. So I think the Iron Knight is just not having a good one. It's not having a good day, is he? Oh my gosh, look at Buff is in the wall, and he's gone in the wall. He's close at the barrier. He's gone square on though. Lucky Boff has, so he might be okay, I think then. But we'll find out. Is that Iron Knight down to 12 cars? Had Iron Knight out of the Grand Prix, unfortunately, and that's a shame. So I'm saying Iron Knight just got 13 penalties in 2 quarters, which might have been a factor in why he called it a day. Unfortunately, for Iron Knight down to 12 cars then. So once again, it's a very high attrition rate in the Grand Prix. Is there? We've got Kaz now moving up into 5th position there because Winnie is also in the pits as well. Oh my gosh, Winnie there flying into the pits. My God. Kaz is out of the Grand Prix, and Kaz is now out of the race, and there's a safety car here. And now then, Smithfield Mighty also in the pits as well. Winnie also in the pits, and look at that there. Winnie's now in front of Smithfield Mighty, and as they're coming out of the pits now as well, Starburst then is just come into the pits, and this is perfect for Starburst, or is it not? I gotta say, we're going to judge that in a minute. Scooby Shoo's got a penalty. Kaz out of the Grand Prix, and then that. I'm not sure if that was a distraction there from the car that we was watching. Goo came flying into the pit, or if that was this car's making a mistake on its own. But I gotta say that might distract me, to be fair. But I get distracted by a lot of things. As I usually get distracted by a fish in the water, which is not an unusual thing, is it? But there we go. But it depends on well, I suppose it depends on what if it might be unusual if he was on the bathroom, I suppose, wouldn't it? Right, as J Dog then, is he going to come in the pits? I think it's a sensible time to come in the pits. I would hazard a guess anyway, but then again, don't take anything I say as gospel, because because I don't know. Into the pits, there comes J-Dog, so he comes flying in the pits, and Kaz in the pits as well. Lucky Boff is in the pits, and so Serious Russian say they should come in the pits, and indeed they have it. So they're following Serious Russian's advice, and of course Serious Russian, who's got 69 Grand Prix starts in silver now. He should have brought it up on Monday night, really, so I'm actually appalled that I didn't then. But yes, he has got 69 Grand Prix starts. He's going for his 70th Grand Prix start in the French Grand Prix in a week's time, Serious Russian. So yeah, looking forward to that celebration as well. J-Dog is come out in the lead again then. So J-Dog's going for his second Grand Prix win of his career here in Canada, and goodness me then. But he's now got Starburst behind him, and Winnie, and also Smithy Almighty as well. Look, Casal is flown back up into second position now. He's on the hard tires though. Casal's on the hard tires, and so that will get to the end quite easily, but I'm not sure if that's the tires he would want to be on this stage of this proceedings. Picasso is happy with his choice, and he's on the soft tires. Well, he's a good guy in front of ZJS. ZJS is staying out on those hard tires, ZJS is. I'm wondering if Mercedes haven't got any fresh tires left for ZJS. They will come in the pits and front and set a soft set for the final sprint then in the Grand Prix. We got medium tires for J-Dog, hard tires for Casal, medium tires for Starbus, for Winnie, and for Smithy Almighty. Lucky Boff has got soft tires. No penalties for Winnie or Lucky Boff. Watch out for those two. Craigar has also got no penalties either then, as Farfair is giving me Farfair is shouting at me in the comments there as he wants to know the penalties asking you shall receive, my good man. 6 seconds of penalty there for J-Dog, 9 seconds of penalties for Casal, 3 seconds for Starbus, 3 seconds for Smithy Almighty, 6 seconds for Scooby Stew. Booty got 3, 9 for Picasso, 5 for ZGS. That is the penalty stakes at this stage of proceedings as we're now into the final turn. Now let's so we're on lap 34 then. We're on lap 24 then. I need to get my specs sorted, don't I? As I've got to lean forward then. As I'm far from saying Winnie's in contention. Yes, indeed he is. Winnie is very much in contention. No penalties at all then. And remember there, even my slow posterior got second in bronze in Mexico last season for basically having no penalties. Definitely having no penalties really helps, doesn't it there? I'm far from saying that J-Dog needs to pull away then, but of course Winnie is not so by any stretch of the imagination, is he? So I expect Winnie there to be in this fight until the very end there. So J-Dog is going to have to do some qualifying laps now to really put the hammer down if he wants to win this Grand Prix. Same with Casal, same with Scooby Stew as well, because we've got Lucky Boff and Winnie, who is now in contention for the Grand Prix win there. Good stuff indeed then. Far from saying that J-Dog's got to pull away quickly. Criticala by lap 23, bronze had 11 drivers also. So to go back on track then to match us somehow. Great stuff then for the drivers as those green lights once again on the safety car. Critical boy, I think, seems very impressed there. Great stuff. We've also got Kaz saying my home fans did not want me to let up on the wall of champions there for Kaz there. Unfortunately for Kaz then out of his home Grand Prix then, but we enjoyed his helmet design. We also enjoyed Kaz being involved in the Grand Prix as well, and he gave us some absolutely scintillating action, didn't he? And hopefully he can enjoy the end to his Grand Prix, albeit one of his Ferrari's teammates of the race, but he is not. So this is the calm before the storm then, as we're now entering the final third of this Grand Prix then, as the tires are warming up. And this is the view then from J-Dog going for his second Grand Prix win in 2 weeks. Goodness me then. Is he gone? He's gone. Oh goodness me then. Look at that. They're all still fighting in the background there. J-Dog has completely got me and them unaware. Oh my goodness me. But we're now gone then. So J-Dog leads the Grand Prix as he's done very nicely as well into the final chicane. And Winnie's got a 3 second penalty. Just as I said that a lap ago, Winnie's got, oh, that's a McLaren. It's Scooby Stew's facing the wrong way in the final corner then. And Scooby Stew then, of course, he's still in the race, so he can still get points. So of course, with only 11 drivers still to go. Picasso and Craig are on a good old scrap here out of the first corner as well, and it accelerates away. And there is Picasso. He is still down in non-British mode, and Craig is not going to yield, is he? He's on the medium tires, on the harder compound tire compared to Picasso, but Picasso there is not letting them out of his sight, is he? Here comes Lucky Buffett, who's all over the back of Smith Might at the moment as they fly past me as well, going into the third chicane. Here they are then, of course, as it yellow flagged again. It's one of the cars and the Picasso's dropped down the order as Picasso got issued. Oh no, Picasso is one of the most unluckiest drivers in Cobalt, isn't he, at the moment now, as he seems to can't catch a break there. His teammate Lucky Buff is now doing sixth position, doing a great job. Lucky Buff is in the Williams car and now on the back straight then, flying into the back straight down before yellow flag again then, and it is Picasso again having issues then. Going into the chicane then. As all going to see a Smithfield Mighty having to brake slightly in the middle part of that corner, and that really lost the momentum there from Lucky Buffett going into turn one. Just out on board. That is, we've just as Critical Advice asked, is the Alpine car still alive? Yes, we have got Craig, who's still in this race, and unfortunately Sir Dave was the first retirement in the Grand Prix. Unfortunately, Scooby Stew in the pits, and Picasso is still going on then, so good stuff. And we've also got Kat saying, remember, it's not how you feel, it's how you look, and I look marvellous, laugh out loud, and I would not argue that at all. Kat's brilliant. We've also got Sir for saying, breathe, so breathe. Ooh, I breathe easily. Oh my word there, this is and Smithy Almighty has been wrong tired there, and he has dropped down into a sixth position there. We've also got Booty involved as well, and we're on board with Booty. Oh no, and Smithy Almighty there has gone into a Booty there is also got involved, and he is just taking a look there to see what's going on there. I think Smithy's got an almighty amount of damage on the McLaren, and he's going to be kicking himself. I think that here comes Booty, and he is flying through, and having a fifth position, passes Winnie, and good overtake indeed. He's having a fifth, and Booty is great stuff indeed then. As I look though, Vinny is all over the back of him now then, and Booty is he going to defend going down turn one. Craig is also in the facility as well, but Booty has that fifth position there. I'm feeling that door is always going to be closing, unfortunately, for Smithfield Mighty there, and he's dropped down. It's not position. CGS said, and Picasso's out of the Grand Prix, and Picasso, I'm not sure what's happened there for Picasso then, but he is out of the race then, and it looks like there's no points again for the Williams car, and for Picasso. What a shame then. At the moment, J-Dog is currently leading the Grand Prix then. He needs to still pull away slightly. We'll take a look at the penalties again then, shall we? Because I know that's what's on everyone's mind. That's what's on my mind as well. The gap is about 2.7, 2.8 seconds for Starburst, and J-Dog is finished now. It will be Starburst leading the Grand Prix and winning the Grand Prix as well. Craig is all over the back of Winnie, going down into the hairpin. There they come, and is he going? Not quite though. Into the hairpin before it gets accelerated away. Yes, points for all now then. Yes, indeed. Then of course, I think it's an achievement there just to get to the end. Really, is it, this Grand Prix? So yeah, points for all. Then it's been an Alr rule since the beginning of time, isn't it? There, of course, those every car gets a point then. Of course, because to participate, and if it's a high attrition race, then I think that you. Oh no, Winnie is out of the Grand Prix. He's got off in the World Champions again. It's another safety car here in this race, then, and this is now really playing into the reserve hands here of Lucky Boff and Craig R. Oh my goodness me, they've got no penalties. Winnie is offered into the wall. He gets a point guaranteed when he does that, but he's going to be disappointed there not to get more, unfortunately. So, safety car then is that we got J-Dog leading the race, but he has 6 seconds of penalties, 3 seconds for Starburst, 9 seconds for Cassell. Lucky Boff has no penalties. Booty has 3 penalties. Craig R has no penalties. ZGS has 5 seconds of penalties. 3 seconds for Smithfield Mighty, and Scooby Stew has 6 seconds as well. Safety car, 9 cars remain then. We had only 6 drivers finished last night. Remember that the last 10 laps of this race last night was absolutely scintillating, wasn't it? Lewis G saying too many safety cars. I think there is a lot of safety cars, isn't it? I think it was moaning that there is not enough safety cars in Monaco. Now we've got too many, haven't we? But yes, unfortunately, we've had a lot of safety car action, haven't we? In Canada, it'd be interesting to see how many laps we did under the safety car as a whole. In the I was going to try and do some quick maths, but I'm not going to, because I would have really embarrassed myself. So the moment J-Dog has stayed out there. Is anyone else coming to the pits? Booty's coming to the pits. Here he is. So has he got a fresh set of soft tyres there waiting for him in his garage? Indeed he has, then. So good stuff. But he comes out of the pits now, car 90. And let's see then. It's going to go out in front of ZGS. It's going to be quite tight. But ZGS has to adhere to the safety car delta. It's not going to be quite tight because I'm in the wrong part of the pit lane. He comes out in 6th position there. So I feel that was a very shrewd move here from Booty Delight. He just needs to keep it calm and composed now, which is what I'll be telling him in the party, which I got to say, I'm anything but calm and composed. So I think he'll be happy that I'm not actually chatting to him right now because I'll be screaming in his ear from left to right at the moment. But yeah, Booty at the moment looking strong. As Serious Rushman saying that, and Chris Galloway was saying, sorry, I just wanted to say that Chris Galloway saying Booty looking good there. Burns started on Newblies and now they're slick said. Sorry, that's a breather. Oh yeah, my God, it's been a cracking old race, hasn't it? So yeah, there has been a lot of safety cars. I do agree though, and it does lose a bit of momentum from the Grand Prix itself, doesn't it? I would say then. So I do agree with you, Lewis G. Yeah, I think that there has been quite a lot of safety cars, especially over the past 2 days or so. But I think that we didn't have we hardly had any safety cars when it was the wet as it could be in the first 2 days, I should say, but ALR, and then all of a sudden, but when it's been dry, we've had safety cars 100% of the time, haven't we? Oh my word! Though we just need to have it rain all the time in ALR, don't we? But we might have to put an R. I think the R at the end of ALR is going to stand for rain. I think at the end of this season. We're just watching J Dog then, who is just trying to warm up his tires. And so let's take a look at the strategy, shall we? With 6 laps to go. Oh my gosh! Now I need to mute my mic. I was trying to mute it whilst trying not to cough. It's Sir First saying that's Canada, baby. We've got then J Dog then 7 laps in on the medium tires, 9 laps for Starburst, 7 laps for Casal, 7 laps for Lucky Buffett, 7 laps there for Craig R, no laps for Booty. It's 21 laps for ZGS. Goodness me, his tires are going to be well past his MOT. 3 laps for Smith and Mighty, 4 laps there for Scooby Stew. And the Crypto Cowboy saying, surprised none of the drivers on the hard tyres came for soft tires. I'm surprised ZGS aren't coming to the pits there for soft tyres, but I'm trying to work out if the Mercedes even got any soft tyres left there. Well, ZGS sort of come in the pits once, so that kind of tells you the story there, that he does have soft tyres. I wonder why ZGS ain't going to use them then. Is there a problem there for the Mercedes then to use those soft tyres? Remember, you hear some drivers there that don't like that likes the softer compound more than the harder tyre. And there's other drivers who prefer the harder tyres more than the softer compound tyres. So I wonder if ZGS just feels more comfortable on those hard tyres and just wants to get to the end of the race now. And he's doing a good job, ZGS is, and he has now got Mercedes' first points of the season as well. Whatever happens now, as long as he don't get disqualified. So very good hustle there from ZGS there. Hats off to you, my good sir. And you are my personal or the commentator's driver today. Then if that was a thing, but there you go. I've just made it up on the spot. So well done indeed there, CJ said, but I don't think that means absolutely, that doesn't mean nothing to him whatsoever, does it? That CJ said he just wants to get points at the end of the Grand Prix. Right then, are we going? Yes, we are going. So J-Dog is gone then, and here we go then. So J-Dog then does have penalties that he has to gain 3 seconds over, as Craig has already got past Lucky Boff. He's also got a 3-second penalty there. They've also come together as well, and it's look at this then. So I'm not sure if I had damage there, but that's quite a clout into the back of a Lucky Boff. Where is good boot? I like going on the inside there, taking the advantage there, because I think that Lucky Boff had to give back the position. I think that I'm so confused right now. I have no earthly idea what's going on there. But Booty now up into 5th position. He's on the fresh soft compound tyres here. So is Smithy and so is Scooby Stew as well. Both McLarens and Booty are looking strong at this stage of proceedings then, with lap 31 out of 35 beds. So this is going to be a very tense affair, isn't it, to the end of the Grand Prix, isn't it? We've also got Smithy there very close to the back of ZGS, and so ZGS looks like he's in AI mode actually by the looks of that one. I hope they haven't been in AI mode all throughout the race, because that'd be quite disappointing, wouldn't it? We've now got Scooby Stew, who is also now all over the back as well. He's got into the back of CGS there, and Scooby Stew has he's damaged the whole of the front wing now. And look, the wing is still raining down there on the track. That's how much velocity was involved in that incident. Scooby Stew's got damage there, and I think that's going to be the end of his race, or trying to get up a few positions there. So Booty having a look then, but he ran out straight there, didn't he? Booty did that, as accelerated away there, just taking his time time then, taking his time, and Brooks saying only 9 left, and yeah, give the position back, but it sounds familiar, and Rebecca saying, jeepers, I've missed a lot, aha! Critic saying that, yeah, that would explain why he's on that lap 22 hard tires. He's been in, if he's been in AI mode then, so that's a bit of put a damper on things. So hopefully I'm been in AI mode throughout the race, so otherwise he ain't going to get no points really, is he? So that is such a shame there, isn't it, for DGS, and I'm a bit disappointed by that. We're on board then with Booty again then. He's half a second back from Craig at the moment now. Scuba Stu back in the pits, and unfortunately that Scuba Stu's race been run, but he's still going to get 2 points out there. His Booty's own look on the inside there, but he's thinking better of it at the moment now. So Booty is he almost spun the car out. He doesn't want to get too excited on that old throttle pedal. Back at the front then, and let's take a look at the old penalty then. 6 seconds with J-Dog, 6 seconds to the start versus all status quo now in the battle for the Grand Prix lead. Casal has 9 seconds of penalties as well. Lucky Boff is the only driver with no penalties now on the entire field, as a Booty is gaining there. He needs to get out of the slipstream. He's got out of the slipstream now. He's going to brake. He's braked a bit early as they there going into the final turn. There's Craig R. It's not giving up that right position. You see DRS has now been enabled then, and it's going to have some drivers who are in the DRS then. J-Dog is currently leading the Grand Prix and is currently winning the Grand Prix, or is he? I hear you all said. He is not at the moment, and Picasso's having the session there, because at the moment it's Lucky Boff who's winning the Grand Prix. He is a 10th of a second away now. Lucky Boff is, and so I'm going to keep an eye on that then. That is the leader. That is the gap between the leaders at the moment. So that's not the interval gap. That is the leader gap at the moment then. Oh my goodness me then there. This is going to get a very good end there. Is that damage on the Cassal's car then? I just said damage. Oh no, he hasn't got damage. It's just a shame. Carry on. Ooh, my word there. So Rossi saying, come on Craig then. As we're just on board. And Booty has got past Craig. Simon up the inside. He is now in the 4th position. Booty is so good stuff, my dear boy. Down into the hairpin. And J-Dog is now a second and a half up the road then. So good stuff. And he's also now the half a second he needs to be in front of Lucky Boff. So J-Dog is now leading this race outright as well on that 33 out of 35 in this race. DRS is now enabled then. Now this is going to be a frightfully good end then to the Grand Prix. It's that 34 out of 35 then. Oh my gosh, this is incredible stuff indeed then on board then with the Grand Prix leader then. But look at this, there's a Casals all over the back. And oh my gosh, he's on the grass. He's on the grass. He's going to lose control. He has lost control. Casal has, and he's off. And he's onto the escape route there. And away it goes. But he's damaged the car, as I feel Casal has. And Booty's delight, and hopefully he knows about the damage there as well. He does. Oh no! And he's unfortunately him and Casal now got Craig in the 3rd position as well. And Craig is now in the 3rd, and yellow flag there. As Casal, unfortunately, who's limping back to the pits as well. Oh, goodness me, and now there's damage for Lucky Boff as well as, oh my gosh, and there's three press going into the straight as well. Oh my golly gosh, and Lucky, oh, Smithy Almighty is going on the inside, he's sent on the inside there, and Lucky Boff is had to take a evasive action there. Ooh, and now with the ball in the front then, well, there ain't no ball anymore, is there? Because he has completely gone into the distance. He's gone with the win, J-Dog has as well. There's no, the Starburst has got no front wing, he's got no nose cone there on the, oh my goodness me. And Starburst has got no wing there. Oh my goodness me. And now we're back on board then with Booty. There's the, oh gosh, there. I keep grimacing every time I'm on board with this lad there as he accelerates out of the final turn as well. What's the gap then between, leaders at the moment? It's currently, I think that we have got, I think we'll find Daddy for J-Dog going for his 2nd Grand Prix win of his career and of this season as well. Starbus has got damage there, he's limping home now, so I'm wondering if it was the incident between himself and Casal, unfortunately. And now we got, but well, it couldn't have been now. Booty's got now 3-second penalty there. That has cost him, that may have cost him dearly in this Grand Prix potentially now. J-Dog is leading the Grand Prix now, as we got Smith Almighty has now been to a very solid 4th position. He's on course for a podium here, Smith Almighty is a Lucky Boffin now in 5th position. He's got no penalties, oh has he? I've forgotten about that. I have forgotten it, I've forgotten that Lucky Boffin's got no penalties. I don't even know what's going to happen as we come to the end of the Grand Prix. There is J-Dog, there is Craig, and there is Booty as well, and accelerating out the final turn on lap 35 out of 35 as accelerates away J-Dog is as well on board then as well. So Craig is currently on course for 2nd position. Good stuff indeed there. Who is going to get that final podium place? And I have no earthly idea out of the final turn. And J-Dog wins his 2nd Grand Prix win in a row. J-Dog is a 2-time Grand Prix winner. Craig in second position. What a drive there from the Craig on his debut here tonight in a Cobalt as well. And in third position is Smithy Almighty. Booty in fourth position. Fifth position is Lucky Boff. Starburst is going to limp home in sixth position as he's got no wing then. Cassal in seventh. Scooby Stew has got past the AI of ZGS. And if ZGS, I think it's still an AI, isn't he? And unfortunately, if that's the case, he's going to get nil points. Whew. My goodness gracious me. What an incredible race that was. But it's J-Dog who's on top of these standings once again then. The classification here in the Italian Grand Prix. And what a performance it was there. And J-Dog is jumped right up into second in the World Championship. And is now only... And now it's only 10 points, I think, if I'm not very much mistaken, behind the championship leader Hammer Time. By the way, that's a very rough guess, and that's probably wrong there. But there we go. Good stuff indeed there for J-Dog. Brilliant stuff. Craig on the podium for the first time in his ALR career in second today. Fantastic stuff there. And third position, Smithy Almighty. He's had a tough start to the season, hasn't he? He's had the pace. Now he's on the podium. Good stuff indeed there from all drivers there. Well done indeed. Then you deserve that for just finishing the race. And I'm going to need an espresso, I think, but I can't have one now because I need to go to sleep in 10 minutes. Let's take a final look at the classification then from the where are we? I was going to say Italian Grand Prix. No, from the Canadian Grand Prix here in Montreal. And the fourth and final race was just as good as the other three, wasn't it? Brilliant. Picasso getting a point then for the fast lap. He may even get a point then, depending on the investigation there by ZGS. Retired. So let's take a look at the classification then from the Canadian Grand Prix. J-Dog, 2 wins from 2. I think his lucky grid position is 5th because that's 2 Grand Prix in a row. He's 1 from 5th now. Craig in second today, his first podium of his career, and that's going to propel Alpine at the constructors no end as well. Brilliant stuff indeed there. Third position is Smithy Almighty. He's that's his first podium of his season and of the career, I don't know, of his ALR career as well. He deserves that. He's had a difficult start. Budalai in fourth position in the end. Lucky Boff in 5th from 18th to 5th. Good stuff. Starburst in 6th. He had the damage there. Same with Cassal in 7th as well. Something up, I think there. ZGS primarily in 8th position. Scooby Stew in 9th position. 10th position is Winnie. Picasso gets the final point as well for fast lap. Retirements then was Picasso, was Winnie. We've also lost Kaz, Iron Knight, Dukanko, Brooksy, Styles, Jinner, Crustier T, Buckass, and Sir Dave. J-Dog. Oh, you're making a habit of this. What a performance there. Grand Prix winner. 2-time now for J-Dog. Fantastic.
Hello. How you doing?
Oh, not too bad. How are you?
Yeah, I'm absolutely sweating, mate. That was such an intense race.
I was saying in the beginning there that you won from 5th on the grid. You won from 5th on the grid last week, and you've won from 5th on the grid again here tonight. Lucky 5 then, by the sounds of it.
That's what I'm aiming for, mate. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. I don't know what happened to Kuna, but he could see in qualifying how much faster he was than everyone else. Again, him and Brooks had a tangle. I think I just saw the messages come through, but it's been another crazy race. And unfortunately for me, I've come through it. So.
Absolutely magical stuff indeed, and this is because it's your second win on the bounce now, and I think I'd say you're within a Grand Prix win now of Hammer Tom. I've guesstimated it's about 10 points, give or take. Is this your charge now for the championship, or is this your charge from promotion place and going up to bronze next season?
It depends if Hammer Time comes back from Barbados. He's not been here. He's not been on here for a while, so when this league's back at full strength. I think 5th would be a good result. 4th, 5th again. Like I said last week, there's some really quick people in this league.
There is indeed, but there's still some quick people in here now. So once I would say that you're very modest, my good sir, because there's Brooks and Dukanko, very quick customers. But today on track, you have finished in front of them. You have won the Grand Prix, so that's nothing to sneeze at. And but let's go back to the race itself. Then there were safety cars galore. I think I've counted 4 or 5, but I can't count above 3, so that's a bit difficult for me. But what was you thinking then with the safety car restarts, things like? Because you was quite in a Baku. Last week it's quite difficult to do safety car restarts, but I said here today it's easier, or am I just telling porkies?
It's easier as long as you've got the tyre temperature for that first chicane, because that would catch you out. You saw the number of penalties that we were getting through that corner, so it is easier though. I do think that is a lot easier. I think I managed to 2 or 3 times to catch people sleeping, so I did get to pull out a little bit of a lead. But yeah, it's a nice track. It's a good track.
Yeah, you did catch people sleeping there. You caught me sleeping like twice, I think, on the restarts, because you went so early on that back straight, and I got to say that was a very clever tactic. Because I think on the first safety car restart, you almost pulled 2 seconds out. Was that pre-intended there?
Yeah, I mean, again, you just got to be different. Every time it's got to be a little bit different. As soon as you just get someone in your wing mirrors sort of peeled off a little bit, just capitalise on it, off you go. But not always, doesn't always happen that way. But I think I was very fortunate 2 or 3 times, I think it was.
And just to finish off the race as well, when did you think that this race win was on for you? Was it when the 2 Alfa Romeos came to blows, was it? Or did you still think that you still had a tough task ahead of you?
I mean, I think it was quite early when Brooksy went. I don't know what happened with him. He came back from wherever he started, and he's so much faster. But yeah, once he crashed out, and then whatever happened with Takuna, I've got no idea. It looked like a computer glitch, if I'm honest. I think I was behind him in the pit lane, and he just shot off into the barrier, which I was still being controlled by a computer, so I've got no idea what happened there. But once he'd gone, I thought, oh, okay. I think a guy behind me had 3 seconds on me penalties, so I was like, as long as I get a 3-second gap on him, I should be okay. But yeah, I think it was just towards when I got that last safety car, I kind of knew it was in my hands.
And at the moment, then we've 5 races down now in all of ALR. I think at the moment, then you're the Haas team leader, really. You seem to be the man getting the job done for the joint constructors. Then, are you going to be whipping your teammates into shape then, come France?
I know the guy's really quick. I just don't know what his story is. I don't know if it's been a luck thing as well. Getting caught in mid pack can ruin your race. I'll try and do my best for the team.
No worries. I was also thinking about getting far into shape as well, since unfortunately you're his teammate, aren't you, in the joint construction? Absolutely brilliant stuff. Well done, J-Dog. Fantastic today on your second Grand Prix win. My goodness me. Let's come to Craig, who this is your first Grand Prix in Cobalt. I think it's your second Grand Prix in ALR. Well, you smashed it tonight. Your second today. Talk us about your race, if you can, because I've got to say I'm struggling to remember what happened.
Oh, here, I'm not going to lie. Those safety cars did me an absolute belter, by the way. Like, I was so happy I keep seeing them safety cars, because I was like, it's a shame for the folk I crashed out, but I done a well, they're good for me right enough. Man, I got lucky with something.
Talk us about that luck then. Was it just about the strategy calls then, and just like making it easier for when to come in the pits kind of thing, or was it just because you're feeling that the tires were dropping off, or was it just down to like bad luck as well from your point of view with damage to the wings and stuff?
Well, it was a bit of both. Also, when I got the wing damage as well, I thought, well, that's me not be able to come back from that. Then, when the safety car came out, that was a good opportunity for me to go and get that fixed, change the wheels, and I did shred through a good set of mediums as well. So it was it was a tactic that kind of worked out for me.
And at the very end, there was some shenanigans going on, I think, with Booty and Casal, and there was a couple of other incidents going on then. Was that where you was thinking, oh, the podium might be on here, or maybe even the Grand Prix win, because you had a penalty less than a J-Dog in front of you?
Yeah, I had a 3-second time penalty for cutting corners, which was alright. I thought my heart was gone coming to the last chicane. I thought, oh, Christ, here we go, I'm going to lose it.
And of course, you've been a reserve, but I've got to say, the last 2 Grand Prix, you've been amazing. Yeah, I think that tonight, though, you was very much driving superbly as well. Have you enjoyed your experience tonight?
It's been brilliant. My idea for tonight was just to kind of redeem myself for what happened to the last race last night, which was a bit unfortunate, but I'm glad I managed to come on and do my bit and come where I wanted to come on the podium.
Brilliant stuff indeed, and you made up for your teammate who decided to give up after one corner there. Sir Dave, I'm disappointed in you. Let's come to the final one as well, and it is Smithy Almighty. Smithy, I have not said anything about you today because every time I do, you seem to have a lot of bad luck, so I've refrained myself from doing that today, and you've come on with a podium then.
Thank you very much for doing that. I appreciate that. I think that's clearly worked today.
Talking to us about your race as well then. I've got to say, you were at the back of the pack for that final safety car, but you was on fresh rubber, you and Scuba Stew. So was you feeling that a podium's on here, or was you just aiming for like major points?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, the last few races I've just been aiming for a top 5 position because I think that's kind of like where I've been about, especially when you take into account Hammer Time and Brooksy as well. So to be fair, yeah, I mean, it was after the incident I had and having to do the extra pit stop, which was obviously unplanned. Just finishing in the points was the aim. But then, yeah, like I say, when I had the fresh rubber at the end, I thought I'd see what I can try and do. And yeah, I think I was quite fortunate. Shout out to Winnie for that as well, because I think without that safety car that he did, that would be probably a last 10 finish sort of thing. So yeah, that was a shout out to him. But yeah, it's a good race. Well done to everyone that finished and raced as well. That was a hard track to do, Canada. So yeah, well done to everyone.
Oh, brilliant stuff indeed. Yeah, well done, Woody. Teamwork as ever, great stuff. And I'm talking about the midfield action as well, because we saw about J-Dog and his safety car restarts and bolting quite early. How difficult is it not to bolt too early in the middle pack and damaging your front wing? Was that your concern?
Yeah, that was definitely one of my concerns. I mean, trying to bunch up in the final chicane or a corner like that is very hard on this track. It usually doesn't end well. So yeah, I was trying to keep my head balance, but yeah, obviously when you're racing and you see an opportunity, it's hard not to try and go for it. So yeah, it was all about being sensible, I think, in this race.
And one final question, and this is now, I would say that this result then is now going to put you in good stead then for the remainder of the season ending, because we had 5 very difficult Grand Prix. Now we're going into the European season. You got this first podium, then is this the first of a run now?
I hope so. Obviously, kind of like, that means to copy what J-Dog said, but having Hammer Time and Brooksy back, like he said, I'm not quite sure what happened to Brooksy or DeCanco in that race, so I'd like to watch the race back and see what happened to them. But yeah, once going forward, I'd like to think we're going to have a few more top 5 finishes at least, and hopefully a few more podiums.
Indeed, and I think if Craig gets a full seat as well, I think I'll be speaking to you three a lot more as well. Fantastic stuff indeed there from all three today on the podium. Brilliant stuff, Ed. That's it from Canada. Well, we've had safety cars galore, haven't we? Goodness me, Bert Molander's definitely earned his paycheck this week. I've hopefully heard my whispers as well. We'll be back in action then for the French Grand Prix. I know there might be a lot of groaning in the comments there, but don't worry, the French Grand Prix in ALR is absolutely sublime. So join us for the for what is going to be an absolutely sacré bleu Grand Prix.